All right, we're here. Everybody's mics unmuted. All right, good. Welcome, guys. How's everybody tonight? Giga Cat, that's funny. How is everybody tonight? Everybody doing good? I was on earlier, Cat. I went and did you see the stream from earlier?
No.
Oh, I went and was on the search. I went on search of the Hawk Tua girl. I did. I got the hat, and it's signed. So.
Oh my gosh.
Right? It's pretty cool. I actually have two hats, but huh? She's so it was a very interesting I just woke up from his nap. I did too, actually. I had a great nap. And then there was a thunderstorm, so it was kind of nice. It's cooled off. No racing intro tonight. I was actually talking to someone backstage, and I needed to hear what they were saying. And I need to figure out how to use my mixer to put the music out to you guys, so you guys can hear the music and I can not. So that was fun. I'll figure that out later. Apparently, Ghost would like to hear you say Hawk Tua.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Have you seen the video?
No, I've seen the meme, so I know the gist of it, but
I don't think you know the gist of it. I don't think you know the gist. So we might get to the video later. We'll see. Glenn does the best presentation of the video. He really does. He's got it down. But I did go talk to her. Oh, I didn't talk to her. I talked to her to the guy who does all the who's doing the hats for her. And I have a really good I have a lot of good information on the whole deal. And so it's not what you would think. So this is Glenn and I talked about this yesterday on I don't know if you watched the show yesterday, but it was on Glenn's. I think I was on Glenn's show yesterday. I don't know. It's all a blend. Brian was asking me earlier. He's like, "Are you streaming every day?" And I'm like, "Not intentionally." I seem to get drug into it a little bit. So anyway, so yesterday I said that I thought that it was just a girl out having a good time. She was hamming it up for the video, and I would not be surprised if she had never had a boyfriend. Glenn went further and said he wouldn't be surprised if she had never had sex. So today I met someone who actually knows her, and he's like, and look, no prompting from me. I'm just like, hey, well, let me lay the groundwork here for the people who weren't here earlier today or who missed parts of it. So this girl lives less than an hour from me south. She's less than 10 minutes from where my mama's house is. So, it's all very close. And when I was searching her up, the hats came up, the signed hats. And it has a picture of her signing the hats. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. That person obviously knows her. Obviously, a lot of people thought that, and that'll come out. We'll get back to that in just a minute. So I'm about to start doing merch, hats, shirts, hoodies, beanies, normal stuff that channels do, right? And so I just had Rye Guy. Oh, look at that. So Rye Guy, how long does this last? I think that's the bot. The bot does that. So obviously I have the TTS working. If anybody would like to send in a TTS, the TTS is working. That's not TTS. That it just tells you when you become a member. So there you go. So instead of going with an online supplier, I have Rye Guy making the designs right now for the t-shirts, and they're going to be rad. So, oh, you become a member, Cat. Look at you. Did you intend to do that?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. You were
No.
gifted a membership.
Cool.
How cool is that? Yeah. All right. Cool. So I decided that I called the guy up and I'm like, hey, do you do t-shirts too? Do you do hoodies? Do you do all this stuff? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, cool. I want to come down tomorrow and check it out. I'm like, I told him, like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I found this because I was looking for the Hawk Tua girl because I have a podcast and I, obviously we would like her to be on the podcast. And Brian is foaming at the mouth to have her. Well, probably not foaming at the mouth. I'm being dramatic, but Brian would love to have her on whatever. So I'm like, why not? Why wouldn't I do that? And I told him up front, I'm like, hey, it would be great, but I really want to talk to you about the merch. Like it's a legit thing. I really want to do it. So I drive down this morning, met with a guy's super cool. I got a pick. I don't, do I have the pick somewhere I can get to it? Let me, I'll work on that. But so we're just kind of talking about what a phenomenon it's been and, all of the interesting things that are going on with the various, people trying to find her and how crazy it's been. And we'll get into that in just 1 second as well. And it's just crazy, right? And they know it's crazy. That's the thing. They know it's crazy. So let me why does this not let me do that? Oh, there we go. Yeah, whatever. So this is being very strange. So I go down there, I talk to the guy. One of the first things he says is that she has killed all her social media. She does not want to be found. Right? Because yesterday everybody's like, "Oh, you'll see her on OnlyFans next week," and I know you were thinking that, Kat. It's okay. You can admit it. You can admit it. No, it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead. It's all right.
No.
Go ahead. All right. So anyway, everybody was like, "Oh, she'll be on OnlyFans next week," and all this. And I'm like, my understanding, locally, the legend is that she had killed all of her social media. Well, the guy confirmed it today that she's killed all the social media. She's not using her cell phone. She's literally like unreachable. She's actually hired a lawyer to keep people away from her because, I'm assuming that's part of it. And there's other, obviously with something like this blowing up, it's kind of a big deal, right? So I go down there. I'm sitting there talking to him, and he's like, she used to work in the market down the street, like this little country market down the street. That's where she used to work. Apparently, she doesn't work there anymore because famous. But and he, so I'm like, well, that's interesting. He's like, yeah, I don't think she's ever had a boyfriend. I'm like, that doesn't surprise me. And I mean, it's just a really great conversation with a guy. Totally what I expected. Probably not what most people would have expected, but really kind of what I expected. And I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. I think it's even more funny that the that everyone yesterday was like, "Oh yeah, she's probably just another 304." All the nonsense. So there's me getting the hat in the guy's place. It's pretty funny. with my Hawk Tua hat. I got, I had to. So, so the reason I got that picture is because while I was there, a reporter from Florida had driven up from Tampa. I guess he worked for a New York newspaper. I'm sure he was a subcontractor or what do they don't call them subcontractors. They call them freelance reporter. And he had a photographer with him. And the minute he said photographer, I'm like, hey, get a picture of me with this guy. It didn't even occur to me to do that. But it was very funny. But yeah, I think it's interesting how we tend to prejudge the just very many things. And apparently she was just up there for CMA Fest, the Country Music Awards. It's a week-long party in Nashville. I knew exactly where they were when I saw the video. I was like, that's Nashville. I know exactly where that is. I've been there. So it's pretty funny. And anyway, so the whole thing is hilarious. It's going to be a good time. And I actually told her that if she wanted to be famous, to go on whatever, but that she's probably going to get a little beat up. If she didn't want to be famous, don't go on whatever because it's really really interesting. And yeah, and the reporter was from London, but he lived in Florida, and he had apparently lived in Miami, and now he lives in Tampa. So it was very funny. So, Kat, what have you been up to? I have rambled on. What have you been up to?
Nothing.
No, come on.
I don't know. I don't have like that much going on. Cooking, cleaning, boring stuff.
Well, have you been streaming?
No, I haven't streamed, I think, this week.
Wow. I saw you on the other day. I was like, I tried to send you a message, but before I could even like type anything out, you were gone again.
Yep.
So that was pretty terrible.
I know. It hasn't been like a lot of time getting ready for like vacation.
Oh, you're getting ready for vacation?
Yep.
Where are you going?
To the mountains.
Of West Virginia.
Tennessee or something. I don't know.
Oh, so you're like Gatlinburg-ish.
Yeah. Pigeon
Forge, Gatlinburg.
Yep. Just to like, see something new.
Oh, that's new. Yeah, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. Yep, that will be cool for you. It'll be very interesting. So, I actually we go to Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg usually about once a year. It's nice. It's always super crowded when we go. I don't like people, so it's kind of like it's not an L, but it's not a real W either. It's just kind of like midway. So, but it makes my wife happy, and that's very important. So,
we're just staying in a cabin. We're not really like doing stuff just to get away.
But you got to do stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to do. There's Dollywood, and there's the Titanic thing, or not Titanic, whatever the fuck it is. They got a lot of like little stuff.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're actually going kind of like the worst time of the year. You're supposed to go in like the 2 off seasons, which is like 2 weeks in like November or 2 weeks in March or something.
Yeah, well.
Other than that, it's either it's cold enough to be kind of snowy and people want to go ski there, or it's hot enough that everybody wants to just go hang out and do the water park and stuff. So. No, they were supposed to be kind of retro and not really Pride, but look, I'm not a particularly good graphic artist, so I actually wanted them to be more like cool colors, but they don't look good. They don't look good in like regular colors. So they just have to be kind of like retro 70s and 80s, like sticker colors. Sorry. Yeah. So I really actually dislike that that Pride has kind of like become associated with all of the cool like 70s bright colors and the big yellows and all the Batman stuff and all that. That was all cool, and now you can't do it because it's associated with homosexuality. The problem with cool graphics is that they have to look good really small. It's like it has to be they're really really small. I think it's something like I forget what it is. It's a very small thing. So yeah. Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. I dislike that. Yeah, I'm sure it was. The whole video had to have been like an hour long. So because they were out there for hours that night. Oh, not my emojis. Cat, are you throwing out pride emojis?
No, because there's some in the default ones.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know anything about the default ones. I haven't even seen the emojis. So, other than mine are awesome. So, I thought she was talking about mine. I actually literally went with like a 70s motif. So, back when I was young. Back when I was a kid. So you're getting ready. How long are you going to be on vacation, Kat?
A little low for a week.
Oh, okay. So I need to find a temp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a temp. If anybody knows a temp co-host, I need a 3-4 shows probably. Well, you know what? You'll have internet in your cabin.
What?
You'll have internet in your
No.
cabin. Sure. Why not?
No computer.
You don't have a laptop?
I don't. This is a ginormous monster PC.
Interesting. Is that one of the so are you filming on like a little camera that sits on top that looks like a golf ball?
No. It is like a frameless Sony camera.
Oh.
And my screen is like, I don't know, I think it's like 48 inches widescreen. No, 58. I don't know. It's the really big one. It's like,
Have you fallen out with Teriak, Ellen DeGenerative?
no, I think he's got some health problems from switching his schedule to like American time. It's deteriorating him.
So you broke him? Is that what you're saying?
That was his choice. That he's the one who wants to stream
in
when he's supposed
America
to be.
in
Yeah.
American time? Why
Yeah.
would he do that?
There's not enough people over there. Not enough audience.
But they're all bored. That's why they're all on our shows, because they're bored. Class in session. Yeah. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Have you guys seen some of the nonsense that's gone on in the news this week? I mean, it is actually pretty fucked up. Hunter Biden, 3 felonies, convicted, 3 more felonies actually, because he was already a felon and he bought a firearm and now he's a multiple felon. So that's that's sure, why not? That's good. And according to sources within the sources in Washington, I guess, it looks like that there are a couple of Republican leaders, I guess we're going to call them that, that are going after, as we talked about it last night. It's very funny that I talked about this last night, and today we're actually seeing it in the news. I'm not saying I influence the world, but it's kind of hard not to see it that way. So apparently, not based on my conversations with Glenn Lawrence last night at all, of course. However, a growing group of GOP um, conservatives, such as Mike, what the hell is it? Johnson and JD Vance are leading a charge against no fault divorce. We said that last night. We had a whole discussion on it. And where's Arthur Daya? Where's Arthur Daya? Because, I said, gotta get rid of no fault divorce. The next day, I'm not saying that the Republican Party bends to my will, but the evidence is clear. But yeah, anyway, so they're seriously going after no fault divorce. The it was, it's kind of a Martha Dummy is not in at the moment. She'll be in later. She's got to get off work first. But and they're actually touting women's safety on this. And give me just one. I'm trying to pull up. I've been trying to surreptitiously pull up the documentation on it. And it's not really working for whatever reason. I'm just apparently not very swift this evening. But let's see. It's the idea is that no fault divorce is there's a greater risk of domestic violence, DV, if you will, and that sort of thing with no fault divorce in effect. And apparently the stats are, and I did finally find this, between 1976 and 1985, as the no fault divorce laws proliferated, domestic violence against both men and women fell 30%, while the number of women deleted by partners fell 10%. The research suggests that even longer term, the self deletion rates decline between 8 and 16%. However, they're now finding that may not have been very accurate, and they were attributing things to other things. So Anson Knowles, I think what the federal government does not belong in the marriage business. That's true. It's a state issue, but these are state leaders that are being led by the congressional leaders to make changes in their state. They're obviously not going to make a federal law on this. So, and yes, I agree. They have, and I think that's why they're wanting to get out of it. They're not going to. I think they're trying to get no fault divorce dropped, and kind of go from there. And let's see. There's some Gallup polls that seem to make us believe that it's an uphill battle for us, and because 81% of people believe that divorce is morally acceptable. I'm not really sure that I believe that figure. I'm not really sure how they came up with that. Would we believe that, guys? You believe that 81% of people think that Cat believes that 81% of people believe that divorce is morally acceptable. That's very interesting. So, yeah, interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, Glenn needs to rest. He's certainly welcome to hop up, but I wasn't planning on doing a panel show tonight. I was just gonna talk for about the next let's see, what time is it here? Yeah, like 8:30, something like that. Yeah, so I actually, my wife is supposed to be flying in. Her flight's been delayed again. I don't know what's with this deal lately, but flight's delayed again. She actually just messaged me that she thinks they're going to cancel it and she'll fly out tomorrow morning, but I have to be available at like midnight to go get her. So we're not going to have like a super long 8-hour stream tonight. It will probably be a 3-hour stream. So, and I'm just kind of roll through this. Glenn, Cat is prettier than you. I just have to say that, although I'm sure that women find you an attractive man. I'm not able to rate that. I'm not a female, but I'm positive that that women find you attractive. Do you guys know who signed the first no fault divorce law into being? Anyone? Ronald Reagan, actually, California, as governor. He signed the first one. Obviously, he was pressured into that because it's California and they all wanted it. So, and slippery slope. Slippery slope leads to it. I'm not going to rate you, bro. Look, here's the thing. I'm a dude. I honestly can't. I can't. That's right. 1969. He did that in 1969. Summer of 69. Brian Adams wrote a song about it. The summer of 69. That's when everything else. Yeah. I totally paused. I did pause. Why is everybody angry? Don't come at me, bro. Yeah, in his memoirs to his son, he said that it was the biggest mistake he'd ever made. And again, he succumbed to pressure, and that was dumb. But things happen. How about state laws that exempt from every tax all families with both biological parents in the home that have 4 children? That would fix the marriage, poverty, prison, and birth rate problem. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't had enough sleep to ponder that. Kat, you got any deep on that?
I think we should make the barrier to entry more stringent for marriage.
So like counseling, like some of the churches will you can't get married until you've had like 2 months of counseling or something.
I think conflict resolution, know your what's it called?
Know your limitation. A man has to know his limitations.
No, what is it called? Your trauma, whatever styles, attachment styles. That's a big one. A lot of people have mismatched attachment styles.
See, you're gonna have poor Glenn out there in chat spurging out about complete. What was it, Glenn, earlier today? I'm trying to remember how you phrased it. It was complete desire. He'll say something.
Burning desire or something?
No, not burning desire.
What is that?
It's complete desire. I think it's complete desire. We need an old man prattle and grid 1 simp emojis. So here's the thing. I think I need 2 more subs. Let me hang on. Stand by. I'll check. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Let's see. Let's see. We got to go to here. Go here. I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what I need. While I'm looking all this up, what do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about um, secularist getting married?
Are you asking me?
You're the only person here.
Okay.
You're literally the only person I can ask.
I don't know. I mean, if secular people want to get married, I think they have to agree to the same terms that religious people do, like make a contract, like for better or for worse, and sickness and health, rich or for poor, like do all the things. And they have to
Uh-huh.
agree to each and every one, because they don't
Sure.
do that. They make their own vows, they do whatever they want.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Maybe do a contract for each child. You have to be in the same house until they're 18.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's enough. If you can get those things signed, have some sort of, like, if you break that, penalties for each one
Mm-hmm.
by the state, not by the people.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have
Okay.
to penalize people who are just living together with kids. They have to be penalized.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And benefits for people per child in a
Mm-hmm.
2-parent household.
Interesting. Okay. I don't necessarily disagree with that. That's I don't disagree with that. I don't know that that's a I don't know how really, like truly accurate that is, but I mean, sounds good, you know. Sounds accurate. So I believe I need well, I may have already I'll have to go look. I may have already hit enough subs to have unlock my next 5 um emojis. So the more subs I have, the more emojis it allows me to or custom emojis to have. So, yeah. Early 2000s offered 10 grand US to marry a Filipino woman. They said I wouldn't even have to meet her. Nice.
That's a lie.
Viking, where's Mr. Viking Paradigm? He's probably off doing cool stuff, You never know. All right, who else we got in here? You guys have been coming in. Secular marriage isn't marriage. I've done it twice. Both times it had no real meaning. Marriage is a religious institution. The state should get out of marriage entirely. I agree with that. They are screwing it up. I also agree with that. I still stand by my point that currently that is the way it is, and we have to work within that system before we can actually change it. And so I have to work with what I've got, although I do agree with you. So does anyone believe the statistic that's put out that divorce rates are at a 40-year low? Anyone? Chat?
That they're at a 40-year low now?
40-year low.
Yeah, less people are getting married. Marriage is less popular.
That's true.
But the people who are getting married seem to be more serious about it.
So would it be fair to say then that the percentage of divorce has probably gone up for the marriages, right? Because there's less marriages, but I know many people who are in either divorced or getting divorced just because they made terrible decisions.
If you separate it by generation, still to this day, the boomers have the highest divorce rates. And if you take them out, we actually don't have that high divorce rates. The boomers ruin everything.
But I mean, boomers are older than I am. I mean,
And they're still in their dusty old age, decrepit state. They're all getting a divorce.
Dusty old age. Oh, that's funny. Glenn. Yes, but just because the divorce statistic is low only correlates to less people getting married. That's what Kat said. Kat, you've been making exceedingly competent comments tonight. I feel like we should all recognize you. Golf claps, everyone. Golf clap. Golf clap. Okay. No, you have actually. You've really done. You've been very. You've actually been very. You've been on it tonight. Yeah, the Amish do not work within the system, and the Amish are a very interesting study in how less government actually gives you a much better life. I don't know what's up with my camera tonight. My camera keeps. I'm half focused, and then I'm not focused, and I don't know what's going on. Weird. All right, whatever. Is what it is. Some people aren't prepared for illness.
In sickness and in health.
Oh, sickness and in health. Oh, so Kat, what were your wedding vows?
Whatever the traditional ones. My father-in-law's a pastor, so he did the religious, all those, sickness and health, richer for poor, better for worse. I forgot all the stuff.
Death do you part?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Okay. All right. Love, honor, and obey.
Yeah, all the traditional stuff.
Okay. Chat, do you guys know what are the most common parts left out of the traditional marriage?
We know. We know.
You know?
We know.
You know. I mean, you and I know. I think
they know. They know.
They don't know.
They know.
They're not ready. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, so golf clap engaged. Let's see. What makes a marriage important in a society are a solid moral code and traditions that are part of it. Secularists lack those things inherently. Yes, absolutely. You cannot, as a secular person, it's virtually impossible. I can't even think of a way that you can draw on morality as a secular person. Kat is reading my notes that I sent her. Don't give her too much credit. That's Cap. That's Cap. Come on, Glenn. Come on.
He knows I don't read.
Yeah, why would you be taught to read? You're a woman. If divorce, somebody's gonna clip that, and I'm gonna be made to look like a big old asshole, big asshole. If divorced, should you be able to remarry?
No, you have proven yourself making poor decisions.
Poor decision-making ability.
You can be with someone else who made poor decisions.
Somewhat of a statistical inflation by those who get married 3, 4, or 5 times. That's true, actually, and it is proven that once you're divorced, you are
60%, and then it's like 70, 80, whatever.
It's a high percentage. Yeah, each time to get divorced
ridiculous.
Again. Yeah. In 30 years, the secularists will be less dominant because they have chosen a life of self-indulgence instead of duty. I agree with that. As the population decreases, the subset of society that prioritize kids win. So were you paying attention to the argument that I forget that fellow's name that was arguing with Andrew on Tim Pool, Richard something, I think. Robert.
I didn't see that one. No.
And he was saying that it doesn't matter that churchgoer that religious people were having children that as soon as you put them into the school, the secularists have them, and then they corrupt your children and turn them into leftist, and leftism is inevitable because of this. I thought that was a very diabolical line of reasoning, and I thought it
I
was
think he
very
makes sense. All my religious friends that have their kids in public school, they're having problems.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we've covered ad nauseum
Hmm.
how truly terrible public school really is. Um, yeah, get poor old tired Glenn to jump out of his bed and onto the panel. No, Glenn's had a long few days, guys. He needs his rest. Cat gets to the point, no beating around the bush with word vomit. Actually, I like that about Cat. Cat is very quiet until it's time to talk, and then she actually speaks and then shuts the fuck up. It's great. It's just great. Asking this is actually something that should come back. That should come back. And the parents should meet too. I should, like when my son starts dating a girl, I'm gonna go meet her parents. I want to see what kind of degenerates we're marrying into.
When I was young, I remember like guys wouldn't date you if you didn't come from a good family.
Yeah.
Because it was very obvious. We knew back then you don't marry like a family of divorce, a family of like a lot of problems, poverty, like any sort of like big
Mhm.
major problems. You don't marry into that family. And people
Mhm.
have like, they're so like divorced from the family now because the schools indoctrinate them to like be selfish and it's all about you, whatever you want.
Yeah, I need my clip people to clip this last couple of tirades that Kat has been on, so that people know that she's not a screensaver. So if we could make it clip guys, if you could make that happen, that'd be great. If you could just do that for me. Um, oh, that's great. That's so bad. This is even better. You want to read that, Kat? That's great.
If I was single, I would only have a secular marriage if I'm old and in hospice.
Yeah. Uh, uh, Old Joe agrees to meet the parents. It sends a message that they need to respect your son. I don't. I think they will respect. I mean, I think that'll happen unless they're degenerates. But we try and avoid degenerates. We try and weed them out early. Wyoming is just fine. There's an Amish community north. The Amish are actually everywhere. We have a great Amish and Mennonite community here in Tennessee, and they're great. They're good people. They're really great. So, um, so that have we talked about how Amish children don't cry?
Yeah, they wouldn't need to because people can pay attention to them.
It's not just that; it's just like the entire way they're raised, and the way that they're nurtured from birth, and how they're treated, and like they're up and walking. I think they walk sooner, and are more they're more capable sooner.
Independent.
And I actually noticed that
Confident.
in Asian
Yes.
children as well. I actually was watching this video the other day. Well, and I say I was watching it. My wife was watching it. Therefore, I was watching it, whether I wanted to or not. And it was this kid that was in diapers. I mean, he had to have been 3 at best, maybe 2.5. That actually, like, they videoed him. His dad was asleep on the couch. He put his dad's feet up on the couch and got a blanket and put the blanket on his dad so he could sleep, and then he went to bed himself. Like, he went and put himself to bed. And this had to been like 2.5 or 3, and then he, in the morning, he came to the table, he got his food, he went to the table, he sat down, he ate his food, they gave him his sippy cup, he ate and drank all by himself, no, you know, nobody was there feeding him. It's very interesting it's just really ridiculously cool. And the only thing I can come up with is just that they really have to do that, right? Like their parents teach them from an early age that I'm I only have limited amount of time in the day. You need to be able to feed yourself, and that's it.
I mean,
That or their parents are just good parents. Either way.
I remember my brother, like, he didn't have, like, my mom didn't put him in daycare. There was none of that stuff. We were in a house with a lot of people all
Mhm.
his whole childhood. He was maybe 1 or 2, could barely walk. He would go to the fridge and get a hard-boiled egg, peel the shell off and eat it and watch his cartoons or whatever. You don't have to tell him to do stuff. He'd clean up after himself.
Right. When my son was probably 4 or 5, my mother-in-law was always so my mother-in-law is, even though she's Chinese, she's like the definition of a helicopter parent, right? Like, because I think, and this is where I think that she feels like she missed out on partially on raising my wife because in the culture, the parents work, the grandparents look after the kids and that sort of thing. So she now, feels like, oh, I'm in charge. And so I could tell my son go to bed and he would go upstairs, he would brush his teeth, wash his face, wipe his little paws, and put the towels back, and then go to bed, get under the covers, cover up, and just he'd be waiting for you to turn the light out when you went upstairs. And with me, I would tell him, "Hey, go to bed," and he would do all of that. I didn't have to like follow him. I didn't have to tell him anything. I have none of that. But my mother-in-law would literally follow him every step of the way. She would wipe his hands. She would put him to bed, tuck him in, turn the light. I mean, it was. I'm like, no, do it my way, because he's going to be a lot better off my way. So, um, this is the fucking truth right here. Try not to freak out when kids fall, dude. I came in the other day and my parents-in-law had put foam around all of the corners of all of the furniture. I'm like, "Are you nuts? How's he gonna learn not to do that?" Like, if you bang your head once, maybe twice, that's the end of it. Like, you're not gonna do that again. You understand this is bad. We're not doing this. So, but we live in the padded room, the padded not padded room, the padded everything kind of deal. So terrible. And Angel Berber moved with my father in me. I moved my father in with me after his 2 strokes. It is just as much a duty and honor to take care of him as it was to raise my son. So this is an interesting point, and I don't actually, I much more prefer to talk about my sons than like my grandparents, but my grandparents, my grandmother obviously had a live-in nurse, but my grandfather did not. And an interesting thing about my grandfather um, is that he was a stroke. He actually had 2 strokes. He had one, and he recovered quite a bit, and then he had a second one. He did not recover. I always blamed the VA hospital for keeping him alive as long as they did, because he was literally like basically a vegetable in bed. Like he could not move. There was no way his muscles were that in that weird locked up state that stroke patients have, and he couldn't breathe. I think one of his the nervous system on one side had shut down one of his lungs, so he couldn't really breathe that well. And but because they kept him alive for a very long time. And like he couldn't even talk to anyone. He didn't even know we were there when we were in the room most of the time. Very angry. I have a lot of anger towards the VA hospital because of that. They didn't need to do that. That was very um, denigrating to a great man. But my grandfather was, prior to that, I lived with my grandparents and took care of the house. And it was like I was old enough, especially after I turned 18. I was old enough that I moved in, I took care of the house, I mowed the grass, I cleaned a lot. If something needed fixed, I fixed it. And that was just part of being a youth, right? Like that was just part of it. And I wasn't even I didn't even think anything of it. Nowadays, of course, that's like unheard of. Um, for someone to have their son or daughter move in with their elderly grandparents to help take care of them. But I don't understand why that's such a big deal. In my Now my wife's grandmother passed right after we got married, within a couple of years. I only got to meet her the one time, and they had two um, cousins from some section of the family that lived with her full time, and that they were her nurses. They took care of her full time, and in exchange for living there in her house, they took care of her, and all their needs were met. They paid Their school was paid for, and all of that. So it was a really good deal for them. And obviously, it's better to have family taking care of family than some strange nurse somewhere. So I I think it's when we get into elderly care, I think it's very interesting. And people have very strong feelings one way or the other. So you're being very quiet, Kat.
I don't know. Well,
Well, you can
going
disagree.
no, I agree with that. I'm just thinking about the what you said earlier about when kids hurt themselves, how you
Mhm.
react influences everything.
Yeah, Lauren B says the same thing.
There was this little girl that I was watching at a ballet show when I was a kid. I was probably about 10 or 12. One of my friend's little sisters. And her friend did some jump thing and broke her leg. Like it went the wrong way. Like it was a mess. She's there on the floor with a broken leg, turned the wrong way. It's horrible. And I noticed that the girl did not scream. She was in extreme pain, scared as hell, but she did not scream. And I always thought that that's the coolest thing in the world. And if I could just be like that or teach my kids to be like that instead of like the hysterical, annoying, I want to make everybody's life miserable because I'm in pain.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that if my son will fall down, and because I kind of laugh at it, he will giggle about it. Like he doesn't even know. Like he won't cry. And there are times where he'll fall down and he'll look at me, and I know that if I'm like, "Oh, are you okay?" He'll like bawl. Like he will absolutely just like fall out laugh. I mean, not cry. He'll just fall out crying. He'll cry for an hour. But it's an interesting thing with kids. Arthur Daya, obligated to keep someone alive unless the patient or family requests us to withdraw care or not to do certain aspects of care. It's not the doc's decisions. Really sorry though. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there was very good counseling from the doctors to my grandmother and my mom. And I think that everybody is very dissatisfied with that. Um, you're confused about my statement. My statement's really clear. I don't understand why he was kept alive instead of allowed to peacefully pass. My grandmother may have had something to do with that. I don't know. I was, to be honest, I was in and out of town a lot. I was working at the time and traveling a massive amount. So hate to I hate to overly comment on it. It's just it's just always been something that annoys me about that. So um, let's see where I missed something. Uh, Culturally speaking, as an Arab and Latino, wow, that's okay. That's pretty interesting. We're taught the hierarchy of duty when it comes to taking care of elders. The oldest child and youngest child are charged with those duties. Yeah, see, and that's an interesting statement because I was the oldest and I was basically charged with taking care of my grandparents, and I was happy to do so. I never had a single problem. Um, right. Arthur Dye, the interesting thing about it is, to me, well, there's a lot, and I'm not going to get into. Actually, I'm just not going to get into it. I'm just not going to get into it. So, um, Jant, you were agreeing. Okay, cool. I look. I'm not mad about this. I mean, I don't have any specific feeling towards comments about it. I've heard all of the various views on it. So don't mistake my tone for anger or anything like that. Um, so yeah, I do believe that, as and I know, look, guys, I know this isn't the sexiest topic on the world. We're not talking about the Hawktua girl, um, you know, bobbing a knob or something. I mean, I get it. This is not like a super cool topic, but it is an exceedingly relevant topic, I think, because we're all going to get old, and the way we treat people now is the way are potentially could be treated later. And so I try and treat my family with as much respect as I possibly can. Um, and my children especially, because my children are one day going to take care of me. And the interesting thing is that when we look at a small child and we see a small child and he throws a fit and he breaks something, and we find that to just be, um, kind of interesting. The problem is that one day that kid's going to be big. So when my oldest son was little and he threw fits and I would tell him no, and I would bust his butt, and I would, um, take away his toys, and I would correct his behavior. Um, when, when I would do that, I was teaching him that he needed to moderate his anger, right? He needed to learn how to express himself without breaking things, without slamming things around. As a teenager, as a 14-year-old, he is currently right at 6 feet tall. He's 180, 185 pounds. He is strong as fuck. Like he's probably stronger than me. Like we'll go to the gym one day. And we'll settle this. But he is strong, and he's got a lot of anger, a lot. This dude could hurt somebody like really bad, and he needs to know that he can hurt somebody really bad. But more importantly, he needs to know not to lash out when he gets hurt. He needs to know to take care of people. He needs to feel that sense of duty to take care of his parents and grandparents and everyone else and not lash out at them. And he's a he's a big lad. He made me dinner tonight. Like that's actually one of his things is like I told him, I'm like, look, man, I'm really busy. I don't really have time to cook. I'm gonna need you to help out. So he made me dinner tonight. And that's how we end up with full grown men. That's how we end up with responsible human beings. Not coddling them, not wiping their noses all the time. They can wipe their own noses. I promise you. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. So, Kat, please feel free to jump in there anytime.
Wipe your own nose, yes.
Wipe your own nose. You were doing so well earlier, Kat. I was so proud of you. Welcome, Emperor Dave. Imp Dave. Hi, Dave. I'm Dave. I'm not Dave. You're Dave. Who's Dave? Kat, can you read that while I'm scrolling?
How about the topic of the Russian mail order bride company owner on whatever last night? That was interesting.
I missed that part. Did you see that, Kat?
Nope.
Anybody got a clip? Can somebody give me a clip? Because that sounds like a great clip. Russian mail order bride. That was a thing when I was in high school. Yeah, probably. I'm not I'm not um I'm not qualified to make that determination. Yeah. Okay, cool. Arthur Dia also works in the ER. You guys are peas in a pod. Are you guys friends? Do you work together? Angel Berber is making my husband's lunch, but listening, I couldn't agree more. It's been such an honor to be there for my mother to the end. Through, yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that, ZT Den, but I certainly understand the sentiment. Mm, 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 mm. Whatever he fucking wants to eat. Like, what am I feeding the boy? Everything. He's a teenager. He literally eats everything. I literally have food I put aside for me. It's my food. And he will eat all of my food. He will eat all of everybody's food. You will go in there and there's no food. There was food, but there's no food. That's what happens. That's what happens when you have a teenager in the house. So get ready for that, cat. Although you have a girl, that's totally different.
We eat a lot too.
Uh-huh. Sure. You guys measured in ounces, boys measured in pounds and gross tonnage. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Um, the duty is taught to is not to be seen as a burden, fulfillment of the circle of life. That's right. Your parents took care of you. That's right. I say that all the time. You as a child, and you take care of them as they go through a second childhood. That is 100% correct. That is absolutely right. Oh, okay. I've heard of this person. I think. I think that she was in the news or something, Anson. I think she was in the news or something. Absolutely. Believe in yourself. That's how it should work. Teach kids I mean, I was kind of doing the same thing. I'm just teaching my son the way I learned things, more or less. A little bit different, but not much. Modified a little bit. That's all. I do. How did you know? That's literally what I'm like. Go cut the grass. The lawn needs to be mowed. So I can tell people to get off my lawn. That's the next emoji, by the way, guys, is get off my lawn. I'm gonna have the Clint Eastwood version. You know what I mean. Let's see. Yeah, Alzheimer's is the worst. Arthur Dia. Alzheimer's is absolutely the worst. And they finally got the care they needed. I also asked her to. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scandals with nursing homes, man. I don't know, man. A lot of scandals. So no, you make their big brother and sister change the diapers. That way, when they get married, they know. And when they're thinking about having activities as teenagers, they think, you know what? If I have activities, I might end up changing diapers. And I don't like that. See, this is good education. This is actual education. There's like 4 conversations going on in chat tonight. It's really cool. Golf claps for me. Yeah. Kevin Landers, yes, you do have to hide your own food when you have a teenager if you want to actually have that food a week later. A week? You made it a week? I'm literally telling you, I literally bought food the other day. I came in like last night and he's eating my food. I'm like, "Are you eating my food?" He's like, "Yeah." Obviously, why would I not eat your food? It's good. You have good food. So that's how that works. Kat, are you sipping on a 40?
Yes.
Are you really? That would be funny. Every day. That's funny. You're funny, Kat. You're funny tonight, Kat. What happened? Are you so relieved that your sister left that you were just like out of your shell?
I mean,
Go
kind of.
ahead.
I don't
No,
know.
go ahead. Go ahead. Come on.
What I like
No.
my sister-in-law. It's just
Of
that, you know.
course you like her. She's obviously a nice person. She's your husband's sister, but that doesn't mean that you like her.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like people having opinions of my life. It's the only thing.
Hmm. What the hell, bro?
No,
Wow.
that happens all the time.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Never slow down, never grow old. I will be in high gear my whole life. That's funny. Cat thug life. Throw up the gang sign. You apparently need more fish tanks. So that we're basically caught up with the chat. Dano says heard plenty of stories, nightmare places. Yeah, that's probably true. Especially sister-in-law, especially family. Yeah. So are you like so did you settle the score with your sister-in-law about the whole, your kid's gonna be a failure thing?
No, she just left. So, kinda, I guess.
I mean, did she leave because of that, or was
No,
she
no, no.
scheduled to leave?
She was
Okay.
scheduled to leave.
Okay. See, that's not a win. That's not a win.
It's not. But I mean, I feel like we have a girl. She has a girl. I have a girl. Do we want them to be rocket scientists? Like, what are we doing here?
Do you not want your daughter to be a rocket scientist?
No, I want her to have like a job she can work part-time and raise a family. I don't want her to be a rocket scientist.
You don't want her to be a
Stressed out.
rocket scientist?
No.
Fair. Don't tell Arthur Dias. She'll be up here in a minute
I
screaming.
know. I know.
Did you see the show last night?
Mm-mm.
Arthur Dias was spicy. I'm going to be racing in my wheelchair. No wheelchairs, bro. No wheelchair. I don't miss leg day. I don't. Especially now that I know how bad it sucks if I hurt my knee. I don't miss leg day, bro. I might not be able to, I might need help in other areas, but I'm not gonna need that. A rocket surgeon. Actually, I have a friend of mine, this kid. So it's very interesting growing old. You see kids have the job that you had, and watching their trajectory. There's a kid who I worked for his stepdad, and he obviously, they let him work in the shop too. He's the kid, so. And I for whatever reason, he keeps showing up in my face because I do not generically, I don't have Facebook friends with people that are much younger than me. It's just weird. We're not into the same things. So who cares? But for some reason he keeps popping up on my Facebook, and it was, he's a self-described race car surgeon at a very prestigious organization. So yeah. Yep. And so it's a he literally calls himself a race car surgeon. I kind of always did, but I didn't go that far. I didn't actually like put it on a business card or anything. So, but yeah, it's like doing rocket surgery. So, did I miss something Fred said? You guys have to start super chatting because this is a lot of work for me to scroll back and forth and all this nonsense. Uh, Fred Farkle, Fred Farkle, yeah. My grandmother was 104 when she passed, and she never went to a nursing home. So the family took care of her. So I believe everybody should do that. So my grandfather was at the VA hospital for the last year of his life. So not a nursing home. He was in a VA hospital. So he was in the big war, the Great War. When am I switching to politics? Did you see the dissertation presented to the Trumps? Yeah, I did actually see that. Well, I was kind of talking about politics earlier, but we'll come back to politics. The problem is Kat's eyes kind of glaze over. She is getting better about it, and she's almost wearing a political T-shirt tonight. What is your shirt? If you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby. Is that in my honor? Are you wearing that for me? Aw, don't do that. There we go. I do have Streamlabs. I do. Oh, hang on. Let me give you guys the link. Sorry. You know what? It's actually cut off in the description. I just noticed that. I was about to be like, you guys can't look in the thing, but I mean, you could, but the link is busted there. That's my bad. My bad. Stand by. I will give you the link. Whoa, what happened there? And let's go here. Boom. There you go. You can do Streamlabs or you can do YouTube. Either way, it all works. The TTS though is cool. It will TTS on YouTube super chat as well. I'm trying to do better. I really am. I struggle a little bit. I actually am really I've not had enough sleep, and I'm actually probably need a good 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of interesting things going on. Arthur Dye is on top of it. The FBI was planning and arranging evidence at Mar-a-Lago. They miscatalogued evidence from Mar-a-Lago. There's a lot of stuff going on there. In that, we also have on the other side of the political within the political spectrum, we, Hunter Biden, 3 more felonies racked up. Which there's some that has some implications because when all of this went down, he was shielded by people who were saying that they were not, in fact, felonies, and that may have other implications. The debate happens tomorrow night. The debate's going to be very interesting. I wonder if we're going to see the earpiece in the ear of Mr. Biden, where that's not supposed to exist. You're not supposed to have that during the debate. You're supposed to, be prepared. We obviously not there. What did I miss? I missed something. So, and let's see what else. What else has been going on out there? The whole thing about the Republicans actually, really, truly going after the no fault divorce. I think that's very interesting, and I wish them luck. I don't know that they're going to be able to get. I mean, they'll probably get a few states. I do. I believe that they'll get a few states, but let's be honest. Um, it's an uphill battle. Even if they get 10 states, it'll be fine. Um, yeah, look at that. I think $20 is the threshold for the read. So, but there it is. It's working. How about that? How about that? Oh yeah, it appears on the screen whether you do YouTube or Streamlabs. So, yep. Yeah, the threshold for read is $20. Or the TTS. I'll read them I'll read the message. If you send a message in, I'll read it at I think it's at 5 you guarantee to be read, and 10 I give them priority. So it's kind of a pain in the dick, to be honest with you. But once you have it working, it works pretty well. So yeah. I keep hearing notices, but I don't see any activity, so who knows? Whatever. Now I wish he had something to say. That's funny. I can trigger the I'll show you what it got. I'll show you what it sounds like. Let me trigger a test.
John donated $1. This is a test donation for $1.
See, that's how that works. Was it loud enough?
No.
Needs more volume. That's all right. It's probably on my end somewhere. Or maybe you just have your volume down.
No.
It sounds great on my end. There we go. I'll do it again. There we go.
An Unreasonable Man donated $81 super chat. This is a test super chat alert for $81.
Is that okay?
A little bit higher.
I'll have to work on that. I have the one place where I have all of the volumes up as far as I know. Yeah, I've got all the volume up pretty high. I may be missing something. I'll look at it. I'll play with it later. I'm not playing with it now. So. Oh, you know what it is? It's picking it up through my mic. It's not actually playing it through the video. That's what it is. It's picking it up through my mic. That's annoying. That's a setting somewhere that I've messed up. So I will have to fix that later. I'm not doing it now. It's too much. It's too much trouble to do it now. Glenn will help me fix it. Glenn knows how to do this. Yeah, I figured that out. Viking. I just don't know where it's coming through. But Glenn will help me fix it. He'll know. He'll know what I messed up on it. So it's once you get it set up, it works great. Dude, my son is not the tech genius that you might think he is. He actually doesn't really care about any of it. It's very funny because I'm like way more into this stuff than he is. I think Glenn is he probably is sleeping. He is I believe that he's going to start his stream at 9:30 his time, which is very late here. That is no, it's like 11:30 here. I wasn't planning on going quite to 11:30 tonight, but we'll see how that works out. Yeah, we can maybe do 2 more hours. Yeah, I'm not a boomer, but yeah. So So I don't stay up all night streaming. I go to bed and I try and be in bed no later than 2 a.m. And I get up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I need about 4.5 hours is minimal for me to function. And then through the day, I'll take a nap if I get a chance. So, but I've always required very little sleep. So, yeah. Yeah, Glenn's going to go on and we'll do something there. All right, so let's get back to talking politics, guys. So, chat, let me know what you think about, and Kat, you can too. What do you think? What do you think Trump's chances really are in the election as of today? If it were to go to election next week, what would you think? Where would you think he's at?
I think he would win if it was fair.
Yeah, and let's assume that there's no like vote tampering or anything like that. I'm talking about just on the merits and where he stands and all of that.
Yeah, I would say like my most woke vote blue neighbors with all the signs have taken them all down.
Mm-hmm.
A couple months
really?
ago. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, come on. Street Racer says he would win if there's no BS. Can't wait for the debate tomorrow. What's up, John? With no BS, Trump. What are we talking about? The question is how the mods do it. That's right. The mods are crazy, man. Everybody seems to be like I have mods that mod for me, and then yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Been paid overtime for the streams. Brutal. It is for a cause. That's true. You always seem to be on. A lot of the guys that are that mod, it seems like they're in the tech industry and they're doing like data entry or data recovery. So, like they're putting out fires somewhere, so they're up all the time anyway. It seems that way. I have no faith in our election process nor having a fair election. What do you think about that, Kat?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're gonna mess with it.
Legendary CEO, CNN is really doing a number on independent media. Yeah, that unfortunately is true. I've done 36 hours straight many times at work, and yeah, I'm dead at the end. Yeah, sleep for a day. Yeah. Salty, a cracker. That's okay. All right. Don't think they will let Trump win. I've heard that many places. I'm watching. Start season 3 of The Bear. I don't know what season 3 of The Bear is, but it sounds cool. Electronic voting machine. Yeah, that's. See, I don't know. There's an interesting deal. Trans woman's Miss Maryland obese pageant queen wins Miss Alabama, and 71-year-old is competing in Miss Texas. So I've seen all of that. The Miss Alabama one was kind of shocking, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's fine. Whatever. The trans woman, all of the Transformer stuff is really weird to me. And did you see where they had this this guy come out and say that his goal is to win all of the female titles in track and in the track and field stuff that he does? Like, I think he's like an Olympic or collegiate track and field guy or girl, whatever. And his goal is to literally win all of the titles from the women. Yeah. Hey, Glenn, what's up, man? When I do my TTS, it's coming through the laptop speakers, but not streaming through the YouTube stuff. So I don't know how I make that happen. I'm gonna have to figure that out. And then yeah. Let's see. His daughter is wow, current Miss Teen Oklahoma. That's awesome, dude. Props. She is at the Miss Teen America pageant in Orlando this week. Kat could go over and hang out with her. And there are 3 trans models that are winning all of the modeling. Is that gifts? It looks like gifts. Is there supposed to be a T on the end there? So my glass is fogged up enough that I can't see it. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Let's do that. That's a great question. Oh, modeling gigs, not gifts, gigs. Okay, cool. I was like, did I missing a T? What's going on? So when I trigger TTS, it's only playing it through my laptop speakers. It sends the he's in my chat. No, that's not him. Who the fuck is talking to me? And more importantly, where are they talking to me? Anyway, yeah, so I think that's all very interesting stuff, but I don't know what we do about it. I mean, what do we do about it? Can we do anything about it? I mean, if the organizations aren't going to do anything about it, can we really do anything about it at all? No. I think you're right. I think that's the answer. I think that is the right answer. I think no, we can't do anything. It's irrelevant because we can't do anything about it. So oh, okay, cool. Anson's helping me out with this Russian bride clip. Let me open that up. And I will pause that. Why is it not pausing? There we go. And then we'll share it because it's going to be fun. It's going to be very fun.
Of personals that is out there, that how much time you actually invest in trying to figure out who is who, really who they are. Mm-hmm. So number one point is when my clients come to us, to me, to my service, we have the whole background data about them. And background is very important when you're forming the relationship, understanding where your partner is coming from. I mean, I can give you an example in my marriage. When we started dating, me and my husband, I mean, I know what hunger is, like really like starvation for 3 days. So for me, food is it's not like a luxury or whatever. It is, I mean, it is luxury for me. So when I made him one of the first dinners, he was expecting something really special. For me, special is having the food. For him, it is the so and it is there is such a variety of personals that is out there that how much time you actually invest in trying to figure out who is who, really who they are. So number one point is when my clients come to us, to me, to my service, we have the whole background data about them. And background is very important when you're forming the relationship, understanding where your partner is coming from. I mean, I can give you an example in my marriage. When we started dating, me and my husband, I mean, I know what hunger is, like really like starvation for 3 days. So for me, food is it's not like a luxury or whatever. It is, I mean, it is luxury for me. So when I made him one of the first dinners, he was expecting something really special. For me, special is having the food. For him, it is the so and it is there is such a variety of personals that is out there that how much time you actually invest in trying to figure out who is who, really who they are. So number one point
I
is
think it's looping around.
come to us, to me, to my
Is
service.
it? Okay.
We have the whole background data about them, and background is very
Yep, it did. All right, let me pull this. There we go. It was looping around. All right, cool. Hey, thanks guys. We figured out it was looping. There you go. Yeah, I don't have the audio set for output. Yeah, I need to. I'm trying to figure that out now. I have to run it through my mixer. Okay. I don't have a mixer, but I will. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. All right. Mail order brides. Kat,
I don't know.
you don't know?
I've never been one. I don't know what that's about.
No, you trapped a man. That's
I didn't need help.
possibly creepier. You enlisted his mom. Come on, that's possibly the creepiest. But we're gonna let it ride because it obviously worked for you. But still, though, you should move to Nashville. You and Brian and Andrew should all move to Nashville. Andrew actually was talking about moving to Tennessee. I think him and his wife both really like the area. They've visited several times. I told them that they could borrow my lake house while they're here and to be able to, just have a place to stay while they look at properties. And maybe that'll happen later this year. We'll see. They're also talking about Florida, so that would be really good. So, what part was this? What are we talking about? So, but yes, believe in yourself. That is what cats do. They trap their prey, and her poor husband, who is down, probably, or I don't know if they have a downstairs. It's Florida. They frequently don't have 2-story homes. But her poor husband is in the living room somewhere watching TV or innocently unaware that he's he's now aware. He can't do anything about it. So, yep. So what did I miss, Andrew? What did Andrew's eyes got big? About what? I missed out. What are we talking about? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure really big. He's definitely trapped. He was signaling. Yeah. Blink twice. Oh. Well, Andrew was actually around earlier. He's working very hard right now. Yeah, that's true, Kevin. That is true. Yeah. That is very true. But I think Andrew's looking for a farm. I think he wants 100 acres or something out in the middle of nowhere. Cat looks innocent and all, but really she is a psycho. Just ask her neighbor that she tried to kick his ass. That's like the best story ever. Like you should just lead with that every time you meet somebody. Like, hey, did I ever tell you about this one time when at band camp that I tried to kick my neighbor's ass? That's so funny. Oh, dude, you do not want to be a Memphis legendary CEO. That's terrible. Why would we need to worry about this? Is weird. Why do we need to worry about the source? We have really good water here. So why would we need to worry about the source? We also have 4 nuclear plants, so we have cheap power. Or maybe 3 now. Do we still have 4? Watts Bar, Oak Ridge. And there's another one. I forget what it is. Anyway, at least 3. At least 3. And we have hydroelectric. We have cheap power here. Like it's my power bill's like nothing, really. Yeah, I don't like Memphis that much. Memphis is, Memphis is not cool. I don't like Memphis. $0.12 per kilowatt hour. That's pretty cheap. Yeah. Well, that's honestly, I really can get into like the thorium reactors and all of that, and all the politics behind not allowing us to use those. That'd be great. Memphis is ghetto. Germantown used to be really cool. With a name like Germantown, you kind of have to expect it to be. But I don't know. I don't know how cool it is anymore. I don't like to do that. Close. Nolans is the sin capital of the South, although technically it's not the South, but it's close enough. Or Atlanta. Hotlanta is pretty terrible. Building a state. Yeah, modular reactor. I don't know anything about those, but the thorium salt reactors are fucking great. It's like so clean and so efficient. The government's on. I haven't read that. I want to have to look at that. I can't give an opinion on that because I haven't looked at it. I don't know. Is that a real thing or is it just something that they're proposing? Arthrodaya. So Arthrodaya, did you see that did you see my hat? Here, let me help you out. See my hat? Here, hang on. Let me go full screen. Let me make sure that we get this. Yeah, look at that. And it's signed. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's right. So I knew it was Nashville too. So let me take this down. We can't eclipse Cat for too long. She'll get bored and start playing with string. So now we have another clip. So many clips tonight. Clip channels. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to wait on this one. I can't do it. FHA. Wait, what? Conditional approval of the Freddie Mac pilot to purchase second mortgage. Interesting. Oh, more Freddie Mac shit. Oh, that's great. I mean, it'll be really bad. It's going to be really bad. I wonder if I saw the report of 3 teens facing felony charges for riding scooters on the Pride Street graffiti in DC and leaving tire marks. I haven't seen it, but I 100% believe it. Remember, there was a guy in, I believe it was New York City, who got charged with a similar offense for doing a burnout on the BLM painted crosswalk or stripe or whatever across a road. He did a burnout on it, and he got charged for that in New York City. So good to see you though, TR Finley. Glad that you're made it and that you're in the chat. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Arthur Daya. I actually went down and met with the people who make her hats and talked to them about her, and it's really pretty interesting. It's an interesting story. I was right about it, by the way. $4,000 matchmaking for a Russian wife value. That seems cheap. Yeah, it doesn't read it for $2. I have to read it, and I did. This is cool. I like it. I like everything that's going on. Yeah, I saw that. I just it's let me see if I can redo it. Give me one sec. I have a lot of tabs open. What kind of time we're on? Yeah, we're doing good. Doing good. Glenn, how long before you start up, buddy? I'm going to present this. We're going to share some screens again. Cat looks really bored. Boom, 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 boom. I think we're going to see Andrew's face
10 years ago. So, and there is such a variety of personals that is out there that how much time you
I've actually already
invest
seen.
in
If
trying
this
to
is,
figure
I think
out
this is. I've already seen
who
this.
is who, really who they are. So number one point is when my clients come to us, to me, to my service, we have the whole background data about them. And background is very important when you're forming the relationship, understanding where your partner is coming from. I mean, I can give you an example in my marriage. When we started dating, me and my husband, I mean, I know what hunger is, like really like starvation for 3 days. So for me, food is it's not like a luxury or whatever. It is, I mean, it is luxury for me. So when I made him one of the first dinners, he was expecting something really special. For me, special is having the food. For him, it is the fancy meals, right? So when I made a steamed salmon.
First, Mia, I'd like to end the show by seeing if we can't use this as a moment, as an opportunity to give you a call to action. Would you consider stopping sex work entirely?
Ever?
Tonight.
Not tonight.
Tonight, Mia.
Unfortunately not.
With the support of the Whatever podcast,
Yeah.
we will help you.
You should.
You're amazing. I would
Do
do it. Thank
you agree to go get your phone and delete your OnlyFans right now?
I do not.
Why?
Wait,
Mia,
with the
we're trying to help you.
When you say with the
You
I'm
could still-
trying, we are trying to redeem your soul.
I want to tell you
My soul
something.
is still being redeemed with these.
We're trying.
You could
what
make
the
millions.
fuck?
You could make
I think I
millions
saw
by
this
leading
part.
other girls that were doing OnlyFans and become an advocate
not
and a
that voice.
speaker.
I'm doing it.
Her
for
journey
school as
has not
well, but
ended
thank you.
yet.
It hasn't ended yet. Thank
Her
you.
journey has
My
not-
journey is
not yet.
continuing.
She hasn't reached the
Oh my
destination
God.
yet.
Oh, thousands of
I'm
men.
going to
Listen up, Mia.
continuing school.
I
Hang
will
on,
not
Brian. Brian, can I
This
sing
is
a little
awesome.
song that I wrote
Jimmy
here?
Neutron.
Oh
Please,
my
can you
God.
sing it?
It looks like he has his
Yeah.
guitar. Look at that pause.
Yeah, I got my guitar. I'm ready to sing this song. You guys want to hear a great song? It's for the blonde in the back.
Yes. From who?
Okay.
For who? For me?
I was busy in the background for you. Yeah, I was
No,
busy
oh
in
my
the
God, I'm
background. I
scared.
was writing this
I don't wanna
song.
hear it.
This is very
while we were
funny.
having the conversation. Are
Wait,
you ready?
is it? It's not TOS, is it?
No, of course not.
Are you really gonna go
Okay.
down on me?
What? The
What?
Fuck?
Oh my God, what?
No, down like put me down. I mean, sorry. Oh my God, my English.
Holy
I'm sorry.
shit, that took a really
It's
dark
not what I
turn.
meant. It's not what I meant. I meant like putting me down. Sorry.
I was just gonna sing a song. Holy shit! I mean, that's all it takes. Just like that. Just
Is
you want to
your-
hear a song and then it goes right to you're gonna go down on me.
No,
Whoa,
that's not what I
whoa.
meant. I swear
That
to God,
wasn't
that's not what I
what-
meant.
Not you. It's me.
I think
all right.
Kat's
You wanna
about
hear
to
the
fall
song?
out of her
Yes,
chair
I will.
laughing.
Be a
Ready?
hater.
You guys have to edit it for me and send it to me.
We need to end the stream like this.
Me, fucking me.
I knew it.
Oh, it's all about me.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
I swear I'm gonna
Does it need
stream
some
it
work?
on my
It's beautiful.
social media. Send it to me and I'll put it. Me.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Me. I think it was good.
Me,
I feel like
me,
I feel like it
me,
nailed
me.
it.
Cat, me.
Mimi.
You were about to die laughing, weren't you?
I mean, he could have gone a little bit longer. Come on.
Yeah. I think he had a fair amount of alcohol last night, so he was about tired of them. But yeah, that was really funny. me. Yeah. Oh, within a week he'll make an AI based song and it'll be really fucking hilarious. So yeah, it was funny. I talked to Andrew earlier tonight. He's working on his debate module program that he's going to be, I guess, selling, and they're coming along pretty well. So it's going to be pretty badass, I think. Andrew's pretty talented dude. So we were talking about some next steps for me and the super pod here. Not awesome pod, but we're getting there. Super's good. Super's awesome. Yeah. The narcissist song. That's great. Actually at the end last night, because I finished up my stream and I was like, I'm going to bed and I couldn't go to sleep right. I think I can never just go right to sleep. So it's kind of listening to the end of the show after whatever had ended, and it was just Andrew on Andrew's channel. And he was pretty funny. He was playing the guitar, taking requests. It was very funny. Andrew actually can play guitar, which is pretty cool. And he played Inspector Gadget on the guitar. That's got to be pretty hard. Yeah, see, Cat knows Inspector Gadget. That's so great. We really haven't been able to talk about politics because we keep getting sidetracked on all of the humor. So, yeah. Yep. That's pretty funny. Devin, so it was funny because Andrew was talking about how he was on this stream with this kind of objectionable girl, and he knew apparently he knew he was going to be on with her, and he's literally told her, he's like, yeah, I went down this street to buy alcohol because I knew I was going to be on this street with you and I needed it to get through without saying things in a very angry way or something like that. It's very funny. It's awesome. Cat needs 9 more subs to get to 500. Guys, go over and support the cat, the magic cat, Felix the cat. Felix the cat was one of my favorite cartoons until I realized that it was really stupid. But when I was younger, it was really good. I tried to talk. I know. Look, breaded circuses. Yeah, that's true. No, everybody wants the Hawk-Tua girl. I got the other Hawk-Tua hat. What did I do with it? I may have left it inside. I have the other Hawk-Tua hat. That dude's made and sold 12,000 hats for her. 12,000. And he was making them 6 at a time. He can make 6 hats every 15 minutes. And he's running from 8 in the morning till 10 at night. That's a lot of hats. That's a lot of 15 minutes. And but again, they only expect it to last a few weeks, maybe a couple of weeks at most. And she's totally in hiding. Oh, I want the Russian Hawk-Tua woman now. That's funny. I'm not really sure what that was. I like the laugh. I'm having a good time tonight. I'm pretty tired. It's hard for me to stay focused. To be honest with you guys, I'm tired enough that my focus is just a little off, and it'll be good to have a good night's sleep and then do the day shift tomorrow and not really stress out. Have tomorrow night off. So the day shift today was great. I didn't actually intend to do it. I don't know why I did it. It was just one of those things. Yeah. Yeah. I actually have an opportunity to go on whatever remote in. And I think I'm working that out right now. So there's some very specific things that'll need to happen to make that happen. So whatever, it's interesting because I think whatever is good with just Brian on there, but it's gotten so good with Andrew on there that it's hard to have it without Andrew. It really is. Yeah. So the kind of the choices, guys, is that I can go on the whatever podcast and they'll do a redirect to me and some other things. I just haven't decided whether I'm going to do it or not. There's some various things that need to happen there. But we'll see how it goes. I'm still in negotiations. Apparently Brian heard his voice and he's resting his voice today. We were supposed to have a phone discussion. And yeah. There's an interesting thing in that it's an interesting dynamic because on whatever I have I have a not a following, but I'm like known there. I have people kind of expect and I don't know the TTS, the everything else. It's a very interesting dynamic. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting deal. I'm still working through it. I talked to Andrew about it earlier tonight, and he gave me a little bit different perspective than what I had looked at. So I'm going to be negotiating with Brian to maybe see what can get done there. And that would actually mean that this could go really big. So, so it won't take that much, Arthur Dyer. There's actually a limit to how much, although I've figured out ways around that. There's actually, it used to be very frustrating. So, yeah. I know that some people complain about the almost canned nature of the show, but you have to understand that there has to be a baseline. If every show is different and you're just asking random questions and there's no real baseline, and more importantly, is that people can, or the guest can answer a question in such a way that would break TOS, and you wouldn't expect it. They will answer it in a way that's absolutely weird. So I think that the way that he does it is pretty good. Yeah. So there's a very specific reason why there's value in having me on the whatever podcast. So, I although I do think Brian should probably at least entertain the idea of having Glenn on, as well. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Glenn would be. Yeah, Glenn could be awesome on there. I don't know. I think he would be. Um, the the problem with the problem with Brian is that it's the canned nature of the show. I don't know. It's really interesting. Yeah, no stream tomorrow night, Ghost. No stream tomorrow night. In the morning, tomorrow afternoon, I do the day shift. I don't know if Kat will be on for the day shift. She's hit or miss on the day shift. So, yeah. Yep. All right. Okay. I don't think that's a problem. Brian doesn't really care about being upstaged. I mean, you look at the way it works with dynamic with him and Andrew, and the dynamic that was there with him and Chase, to some degree. I don't think he really minds being upstaged. What Brian really minds is, he's had a couple. So he's had some men that get on there, and when they're face to face with the girls, they have a problem. And so he wants people that have a track record of being able to confront. Yeah. I'm not sure what this reference is. So, what's up, Nick? How are you doing? What did Mondragon say? I gotta scroll up so far. Oh, I'm better than Glenn. It has nothing to do with better or worse. It's just, yeah. I actually, I figure that Glenn, if Glenn goes on, it'll be a really great show, because Glenn has that ability to kind of be very calm and ride out the the energy. The thing that Brian's worried about with me, to be frank, is that I match energy with energy. So if they come at me hard, I will just go right back at them. And, that's not necessarily, and I know Brian's, I think, worried about that. I think that's one of the things he and I are going to have to work out. I don't have to be as aggressive as I am. I just happen to be that way. Yeah. Hey, you guys go over and like and subscribe and do all of the things to Kat's channel. She is an excellent co-host, and unlike I've been looking around the internet at various other co-hosts on channels, and Kat, you know what? I mean, she seems to be one of the better ones I could have asked for, to be honest. The fact that she actually shows up when she says she is, and she tells me when she's not going to be around, that's awesome. And also, having watched another channel, not in this sphere, where they have a male and female co-host together. I guess they consider each other co-host, not a host and co-host. It is they're dual co-host or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. It's a weird deal. It's equality. Fuck. And the girl's a total bitch. I don't like her. So anyway. Yeah. Let's see. Arthritis. So what it would look like, what I'm thinking, and this is what, and you know what, I'll tell you what I'm going to suggest to Brian. What I'm going to suggest, what Brian has offered is for me to be able to come on during that. He would do he would do some clips for me, and obviously I would get clips, right? We would be able to use clips from the show, and I think that his guys would do some really good, well done clips while I'm on the show. He's thinking that he wants me on during the 30-minute roast, which I don't want to be on during the roast. I would prefer to be on in the meat of the program and just kind of have be on for like one or two questions, and not any kind of like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Ain't no time limit. Just bring me in. Let me, we'll work through like Man versus Bear or something like that, and then I'll go away. And then I would rather do that. And then I would get the redirect on the at the end of the show. So that could potentially be, 3,000, 4,000 people coming into the stream, which would be really good. So that's kind of what we've been talking about right now. There is some there are some things that need to be worked out about it. And I was kind of looking at something a little bit sideways. So so I feel like we're in a negotiation stage right now. So we'll figure that out. I'm very good at negotiating. You don't really speak during a roast, though. It's constant super chats, right? And so here's the thing. This is my. You guys give me some honest feedback here. I mean, I'll take it. I'm a big boy. I think Brian's biggest concern is that I'm too overly aggressive and maybe a little too honest, and he doesn't want the girls to shut down during the conversation. You now have 503 subs, Kat. So there you go. Awesome, chat. Very good job. You guys rock. Y'all rule. So I missed something Glenn said. Let me scroll up. Yeah. So I'm this is actually a good point. I'll come back to her point. The reason that I'm on Brian's radar is I'm a legend in his channel. Right? Like I show up, if I can just post in the chat like that's moving 100 miles an hour, and people will like, oh, hey, what's up? And all that, which is very interesting. And so for me, there's a couple of different reasons why Brian won't me on. Otherwise, if it was if I didn't have that, if I wasn't as blown up on the channel, it wouldn't matter. Constant super chats is correct. That's why I don't want to do that. Man versus Bear is a good one for me, or something else. That's right. I agree with that. And I said so. We do need to talk, and we mostly need to talk about having Pearl come to Nashville and set up a studio session with Pearl, maybe you and me, and maybe Cat. Maybe Cat will come up. We can have a round table. Oh, look, Cat's nodding on that one. Get another girl involved, and Cat's like, yeah, let's do it, yeah. Feminine energy. It's gross, Cat. It's gross. Ooh, you done gone and done it. Is the debate between Andrew and body odor still on? From what I've been seeing, people are saying it's not going to happen. So it would be on if Andrew knew where to meet that two-faced lying son of a bitch. I hope he's watching right now. Are you out there, B.O.? Or are you out there in the neither? Watching my subpar little channel? You feel threatened? Probably not. You feel superior to everyone. Yeah, so B.O. actually had the nuts to say that Andrew was not going to show for the debate. We all know that that's not how that went down. B.O. had never had any intention of going to Michigan. If he does, I'm sure Andrew will meet him at the appropriate time and place, which B.O. has never specified. And he was the guy that was supposed to specify. So fuck that guy. And drop him off the planet. I just, no more wavelength for that guy. Your advice would be to remember to have fun with it, laugh, show that you don't have to be as serious the whole time. Yeah, that's the same thing I do here. Why would I act any different? I do look serious a lot. I think that plays against me sometimes. Yeah. She learned from the best. Because that's what I do. I throw grenades. That's why we have this whole thing, that's like a real thing. Frag out, baby. Frag out. Because we're throwing grenades. See what happens. See what shakes out. So, yeah, that's awesome. I need to have more OF girls on my channel. I've never had an OF girl on my channel. Not even one. So then I would have a cat fight. That's true. He probably does think that I would say the same, but he's seen this podcast. He's been on here before. I would think by now he would know that I'm mostly chill unless somebody comes at me, Yeah. Let's see. He keeps saying that, but when Andrew point blank asked him where they were going to meet so he could be there, he had no answer. ZD Den is correct. Yeah. People pay to see that shit. Jack's actually been really good today. He's been solid. I think, every now and again he kind of spurgs out. Don't take it personally. It's all good. He's just and he knows it. He's not. He's a big boy. He understands. Yeah, maybe I can work a deal where it's Kat and I go on the show. That'd be funny. Kat would sit there and say nothing but just stare at the OF girls and cat-like superiority. uh Let's see. I feel this way too, Grungehead. Base does owe me money, and he owes me, he owes me time. That's way more valuable. BO is body odor. So can't say the actual one. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, Jack's been pretty good. Cat can be a troll 40-year-old virgin. Nobody would buy that. She's a kid. Yeah, that'd be funny. Grid, why are there guys debating about who is better, me or you, and your jet allow people to like who they like? If someone doesn't like me, cool, doesn't bother me. I'm not their cup of tea. That's fine. I hope I'm reading that right. I think he means why are there guys debating about who? I don't know. John Mondragon just said that, I don't know. John Mondragon said something, and then Are We Not Men said something. So I don't know. I don't know. Here's this same question again and again. So I did see most of that video. That was fucking hilarious. I'm gonna do this. This is easy. I think Glenn's awake enough. Sent you a gift, Glenn. Sent you a gift, not a glyph. Whatever. I'm tired. Leave me alone. Yeah, guys, this is pretty chill tonight. I'm actually really tired, and I mean, I'm able to focus pretty good, but I'm not trying really hard to like form coherent thoughts. What do I think about the first week of no inflation in Argentina in 30 years? I mean, did you see what it took to make that happen? Yeah, it was awesome. Welcome, Glenn.
What is going on? What is this? I have been summoned.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was, I think John Mondragon was just saying that that he thinks I'm better and to be on whatever than you. I don't think he was saying I'm better than you. I don't know, because John and I haven't really talked or anything. So, but it's like a lot of like male energy out there. Just like,
I really don't care who doesn't like me more than you. I mean, like,
yeah,
like if someone prefers you over me,
right,
that's great. Like, cool. Like, I'm not their cup of tea. There's people that probably don't like you that like me. I mean, I doubt it, but who knows? Like, or they prefer me over you. I mean, it's not like he said he didn't like me. He said he prefers you over me. You know, like, okay, cool. I prefer you over me in certain situations.
Yeah, I prefer being me over being anyone else, but that's just me being me.
Like there's certain conversations that I would say, you know what, I would prefer you deal with that than me.
Oh,
You would
yeah.
probably, like,
Yeah.
even though we would have this, like, we share
Yeah,
the same view,
absolutely.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
You
share the
you
same
you have
view.
you've definitely noticed that when it comes to like specific religious things, I defer to you because I don't feel qualified to talk about or debate religious things. So,
Yeah,
you
like,
know.
and like I prefer you over like political or business talk. Like, yo, that should go to, you know, grid. Like, I know how to spend money. I don't know how to like make businesses and race cars and make money that way. Like, you know, like, I'm small-minded when it comes to like business. I don't have all the business savviness that you do. You know, like, we just have different like strengths, and I'm like, cool. You know,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if somebody prefers your temperament when it comes to dealing with like certain topics, that's okay. It's not
Yeah.
like I disagree with you on your talking points.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I was just, I didn't mean to like kind of put anything like, put any of that kind of energy out there. You know,
Damn
it's
it,
just,
Grid, it's all your fault.
it is. I'm tired enough now that it probably fucking is my fault. Like, I'm like, I need to go, I need to go back to bed. But you know, the interesting thing is, I think you were right in what you said. Look, there's no way that if I hadn't, you know, done what I did with the TTS and been an early supporter, you know, like I've literally watched whatever since like probably episode 34, 35, somewhere along in there.
So I'll
He
tell
said
you this,
like,
I have not watched a full episode of whatever.
yeah, right. Like, you know, so I've watched it. I started sending the TTS, you know, I figured out how to subvert or circumvent the system to where I could actually send like as many as I wanted. It used to cut me off at like 4 or 5. And I figured out how to fix that, and I could just send as many as I wanted. So, and then, so, you know, that was an interesting dynamic, and that obviously that gets attention, right? Like, if everybody else is sending like two TTS and I'm sending 10, that's a big difference. So,
Yeah, like, you
and
know, I think like I'm not even on Brian's radar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
which
I know
you
people-
should be. You should be.
Should I though? Should I like?
I think
what
so.
What have I done that deserves to be recognized
It's not what you've
on
done.
his scale? Like, you know
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying?
it's anything, and I don't think Brian would look at it as like what you've done. You know, what he's looking for, and he's stated this many times for you know, because he needs male host, right? He needs people to back him up, especially in person, because when it's him against 12 women, they can kind of gang up against him, and then he has to come off as like, what's the word he has to come off as like arrogant or a dick or whatever, where he wants to be chill. He wants to come off as being like
He wants
very
to be the good
reasonable.
cop, and he needs the bad cop.
Yeah, he needs the bad cop. He needs the guy that can go shut the fuck up, you know, and or at least put the women in their place, even if they do it like the bodybuilder guy that comes on, or that was coming on. He's he deployed. He's in the Air Force now, so he can't come back on. I can't remember his name, but you know, that guy, he had a very soft pleasantness about him, but he apparently had proven that he could actually talk to the girls, you know, and
I mean,
and would
like,
push back.
The funny
The
thing
problem
is,
is
I'm in
that
Santa Barbara. I'm in Santa Barbara quite often. That's the
Yeah.
funny thing. Like,
Yeah,
I got
you
family out
should
there,
definitely
and
reach out to him
I
though. Reach out to him on Instagram and just say, hey man, I'm in the area. Here's my channel. Go check my shit out. I'm on, I'm a guest on, on my channel quite a bit. And, he'll know, and I'll throw out a good word too. I honestly think that you'd be a great guest for him. So,
I mean, I think I would too. I think it would be cool. Honestly, I just don't think I don't know. Maybe it's a mental thing for me, but I think that if he brings me on, I want to bring value other than I want to bring value to it. And I don't want him to be like, oh crap, I'm just gonna, here we go. Like, I want him to be able to like name recognition to the point where he's like, he recognizes the name and he goes, yeah, that would be a good person because he's seen the content. I want the content to speak for itself, or the conversations I have with people speak for itself, rather than, I don't know. I just think that like I'm probably not on that level yet. And that's okay. Like there's still some growing that I think I need to do for my channel and stuff. But I think it would be fun to be on there. If he's really seriously looking for someone to, help mod or help like co-host for him. I mean, 2 hours away. That's not that far. Like literally. I'm down there, like I said, quite often.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that I think that it would be, I think he'd do really well on it, to be honest. And I don't know. I don't see why he wouldn't, because you have a track record of pushing back. You have a track record. He's literally stated that for man to come on, they need to have a proven track record of being able to confront people, and not, because he's had so many dudes that are like, yeah, I
could always play that, I could always play that clip where I called the porn star a cum dumpster.
Yeah, that'd probably help. He's had so many men come on there and they just get awed by these women. And they're outnumbered, right? There's like 4 women there and they just won't push back against the women. And so, it becomes and they just sit there quiet all night. There's one episode where they had this guy who was like a surfer and, or something like that. And, he talks a lot of shit online, and, he, the whole time he was on the show, he might've said 3 words. Like, it was just a waste of time. And there was another guy who was TTSing, like, I mean, he was doing bottle pops, right?
Okay, hold on. Can we stop for a minute? Kat, what ungodly crap are you typing in the chat?
She's just off the rails, man.
This is what happens when we don't keep an eye on her.
That's right.
Where is her husband?
Point. He was just there talking to her. He was admonishing her. He was like, Kat, what are you doing?
What?
And Kat was like, I don't know. Should you wear a costume, Kat?
Yes. I
think Kat is a costume.
Kat was wearing makeup the other night. It was hilarious.
Whoa.
Oh, so she was looking like one of those 304s?
What the heck?
Those street trolls?
Was she? Oh man, I'm gonna get. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. I'm gonna get clipped so bad. Well, wait, that's not what I want. That's what we need. There we go. I didn't want that at all.
Yeah. Put Kat on the bottom. That's where she belongs.
There we go.
She's beneath us men.
Kat. Kat. What was it I was about to say? This was funny. So Kat's a very interesting creature.
You're damn right.
Kat came in the other night wearing lipstick, and her face was a little shiny. You could tell she had like some foundation or something on.
Oh, and like she just came back from a ladies' night out club, huh?
Well, probably like date night, or honestly, what it looked like is it looked like a 13-year-old trying to make up for like getting into her mom's makeup for the first time.
Oh, so you're
It was
saying her
so
makeup was all retarded looking?
So precious. It was so precious. It was adorable.
Like she had way too much blush on and whatever, and like
yeah.
the lipstick was all like smeared and stuff.
No,
like it was like
no,
all
no.
around her
It
lips
looked
instead
like
of
she
on her
knew what
lips.
she was doing, but it was pretty funny. And because it was instantly like it was like first thing I noticed, I was like, "Hey, Kat's wearing makeup." Like, normally I guess the show's just not, we're just not important enough for Kat to actually like, put forth effort. But
PJs.
PJ, yeah, she's usually in like her pajamas. She doesn't do her hair. She just shows up. Like this is her part-time pizza delivery.
You know what we call
job.
that? We call that in the military. That's a dependopotamus.
That's
What?
When you come home and the wife is in her pajamas, her hair is a mess, she just looks all unkept, and you're like, "Yep, that's a dependopotamus."
yeah.
They're like the
that's
size
so
of a
funny.
hippopotamus, but they're dependent on you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Kat's small. I think that aquarium there might be bigger than Kat for scale.
I think that's where Cat takes baths.
Could be. Cat bath.
Cat bath. Yeah.
But it was really funny
Wow.
to see her wearing the makeup the other day. That was very cute. So,
You guys, I wear makeup.
but not
Don't
like
tell us that. We
was
don't
like
believe you.
overt makeup. That
I'm
was
wearing
like
makeup.
okay, yes, but it's not overt.
Okay, so let me
makeup.
tell you, like, okay, I'll say this. I love it when women like wear makeup like Cat is right now. You can't tell it's makeup, but you know there's makeup on there. But
Right.
it's like natural. It's like the natural look. Like it's not like super like, you know what I'm saying? Like super done up. It's just very like natural skin tone. Like it's not all like blah. Like hooker status.
Yeah, no hooker makeup. No hooker makeup. Cat shows up all raw dog and stuff. That sounds like is that beating Cheeks? Is Cheeks back in the chat? I beat up on Cheeks earlier today. You missed out, Cat. That poor I had to put my agent.
We
Smith
laid
last
into
time.
him. Actually, you laid into him, Grid.
Yeah,
I just sat here and watched.
Really did.
Good.
I really did. Slave dresses. Why would you want a slave, Cat? That's mean.
Well, if I'm gonna go on the whatever podcast, it's gonna be a production. We're gonna.
Oh God! Now the bougie beezy comes out.
What is wrong with you?
Am I from Seattle?
Go
No,
on.
but I've lived up there.
Wear actual clothes, not pajamas, and that will be a massive win for everybody.
Okay, no, I'm gonna wear like a pimp hat with
No,
a
you're not.
feather.
No, you're not.
What?
Wait.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No.
Should I dress gothic or like glittery, like a pimp,
If
like
you
a very
could-
flamboyant
If
gay
you could,
man?
if you could pull off Morticia Adams, that would be cool. But you're too short.
I think you got to pull off a dominatrix.
You could pull off Lydia.
All leather.
From
Just go all
Beetlejuice.
leather with a whip.
That's too hot. No.
No, she's too short for that. You could dress as a shrimp because you're short. What do you like? 4 foot?
5.
You're 5 foot? Even?
5'1" with shoes.
5 even.
5 even. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Beaton's not going to come around for a while.
What are you talking about? We're going to be talking to him on Friday.
Yeah. So yeah, sure we are. And but
Oh,
Beaton
like,
has
hey, you know what? He's been very good every time he sent me a link. Like,
really?
yeah,
Because he would
like,
set up. He normally sets up, and then we can't find him. So, Cat, I had to go full Agent Smith. And of course, I had a different show. I had to go full Agent Smith on Beaten Cheeks earlier today because he fell off the wagon. I knew he did too. The minute he came on, he was like, oh, can I come on? And I'm like, what did you do? What did
He
you
needed to have his
do?
confession hour, you know.
What he
With
was
Grid.
with hose or something?
Yeah, he fell off the wagon. He tripped. His dick.
It
fell
wasn't
in
a new
pussy.
hoe though. It wasn't a new hoe.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. It wasn't even like it was fresh meat. It was like it was something that he had already fallen and stuck his dick in, and you know, so it was her.
He is guilty.
Yeah,
That's
But,
why I have
yeah.
his mugshot up.
he felt guilty. That's right. That's probably the whole thing. So yeah. And apparently, yes, it was an old one. It was too old for him. Not old enough. Not so
Not
old
in
he
age.
wouldn't
Hold
bang
on.
it.
It's not old in age. It was
Yeah.
just a previous.
It was both.
It was
Because
a
remember, he said
previous-
that she was 29, and that's too.
Is that Cheek's face?
That's
that is
Cheeks'
Cheeks'
mugshot.
arrest record. He got arrested.
What?
You
This is
didn't know that?
Cheeks' mugshot.
He didn't know
What?
that he went to jail.
For what?
Cocaine.
a
Oh,
hoe?
some
Cocaine?
things. I'm like, he could tell you the story one of these days.
Is this
Yes.
new or old?
This is old.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like it's a few years old.
I think he said like
What?
4 or 5, isn't it?
I think it's longer than that. I think it's probably like 6 years ago, something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, worst thing ever though. He got rid of his porn stash.
Yeah,
Why is that the worst?
because he doesn't look like
Because-
Zorro anymore.
Yeah, like like I was wanting that Coomer stash like for trad camp. He's gonna have to grow it back out for trad camp.
I changed his name to Coomer.
No, it was
And then-
Chaste Cheeks.
Yeah, Chaste Cheeks, then Coomer Cheeks. Then I mean I mean, come on, you know what I do. You know what I do. But poor Cheeks, he just didn't know what had happened. So it was a good time. And so it poor Cheeks. He just he came looking for absolution. And so he got it. He got absolution, whether he wanted it or not. And so anyway, so the and apparently she's 29, so she's too old for him, but she'll do to wet his dick, and that was that.
Apparently, she brought him his kryptonite. She
Yeah.
brought him his kryptonite, the 3
Right, yeah.
leches, cake, and he couldn't resist. And it was his birthday. Remember that.
Right.
He
He
needs
got hit.
family.
He got hit with the perfect storm.
He did. Yeah.
I would only expect for him to fail.
The lip weasel. That's funny. All right. Yeah, I found it. Chip and Flint. Give me one sec. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah. Chip and Flint has quite the stash. He is a mustachioed guy. Let me see if I can. That's what I can do here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right. So how's cat-like reflexes going along there? I changed your name.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just having fun tonight. This is what happens when you don't let me get sleep. This is what you get to deal with. So, but it's my own fault.
You
my own
actually
fault, though.
gave me one of my topics I'm going to discuss tonight. Thank you very much.
Which one is that? That's a stash, bro. All you need is some mustache wax on that, and you'll be a barbershop quartet guy. So
Yes, that's a solid stash.
that is solid. And Cheeks would still have such a solid stash, but he slipped while shaving.
No. He
You
said
think that's what
someone rode that mustache off.
No, that you. God,
Disgusting.
That was the Coomer in him coming out.
The Coomer. The Coomer. The Coomer. So, yeah. that's a great illustration. That's great. We're gonna.
It just makes me wonder, like, that was really rough. Like, I mean, think about it, to where they're ripping the mustache off his face.
That's I got to be honest with you, man. That's kind of gross. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud.
I agree.
That's kind of gross. That's
So
that's rough. That's just rough.
Good.
So,
I just sent you what my stream will be about tonight.
All right. Cool. Awesome. Give me 1 sec. I'm trying to do all kinds of
I know you
stuff.
try to do multiple things.
Yep. And in my weakened condition, you guys everybody needs to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off again. It's a great film. So, yeah. All right. Let me see what we got here. In my weakened condition, I might take a fall down the stairs. Oh yeah, that's good, man. You will do great on. That's a great topic for you. It's a great topic for you, sir.
So I'm thinking, like, if we did, like, the first one, get people to, like, tomorrow's the debate. So how about we have them debate their points? You know what I'm saying? Like, put two people against each other and have them debate why they would be a better president.
Yeah, that's true. Anson Knowles knows class something do economics. Vu do economics. Bueller. That's great. You guys should all watch that movie.
I remember that movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
You guys, everybody should watch that. Especially the Ferrari portion. The Ferrari that actually, made me really enjoy Ferraris. Yeah, I've got the Agent Smith glasses on, so it's an interesting thing. I have these in here because they're tinted, but they're also magnified, so I can still read, and the lights don't reflect and make me look weird, which is what happens with my other glasses. I don't look like I have eyes anyway. So, yeah. Cheek's got a carpet burn on his face. That's pretty funny.
You got something, and
it
just tells me
a rug burn.
All that tells me is that something wasn't lubricated.
The Kummertai King. Was with Von Damme, Bloodsport.
Bill Hicks, yes, they are changing all the rules. Actually, they're muting the other opponent when one opponent is speaking. So, like, when Biden is speaking, you won't hear Trump be able to say anything because they would mute his mic. I think that he needs to go in there with the bullhorn and just start yelling in between,
And they separate them, like they're separated by like 40 feet or something. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like they're afraid like they're gonna fight or something.
Yeah, they used to actually remember they used to debate like on opposite ends of a desk or
Yeah, like they were close. They were like
and looking at each other. They had to look at each other.
Yep.
They don't do that anymore. Yeah, they could, and the real thing is they can mute Trump at will. Right. So that's interesting.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's CNN. I'm pretty sure Trump will have these random muting moments where, for some reason the mute button is stuck and it's eating his time to respond. and for the sake of keeping the program on the
schedule.
scheduled time,
Yeah.
you know, he's just gonna take the L.
So there's another thing. So remember in the last debate back in the 2020 election, they had the video or the picture of Biden with the earplug in, which is against the rules in the debate. You're not supposed to receive any help during the debate. So I think also when they're muting it, that's so that Biden can talk through his earpiece to his controllers and have two-way communication, so that you can't hear him because the mic will be muted.
Oh, like, what do I say? What do I
Yeah,
say?
like, I didn't really do well on that point. How do I come back on this next one? What's up? What's my name again?
Where are we?
I shit my pants. Can we do something about that?
Where's the ice cream?
Yeah,
And I was promised a little girl's hair to sniff. Where's she at?
I'm fresh out of ice cream. Can you help me out with that?
I have some cream in my pants, and it's not the ice cream.
That's that could be, Anson, because I've long said it's a little early, but I've long said that they're going to replace Biden with Newsom at some point. I honestly would expect it to happen.
It would have already happened.
No, it's going to no, it can't, because if they do it now, the Republican war machine has a lot of time to destroy Newsom.
Yeah,
but it really needs to happen 4 weeks out.
Who is going to be Trump's potential replacement?
Oh, I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm blurry.
Like, Trump has, his sentencing hearing, I think on the 11th or something like that. And, I'm just kind of wondering, like, let's say he even gets like 4 years or 3 years, right? Or let's say he gets 2 years and he has to go, into custody. Who's going to be like stepping in? Is it going to be DeSantis?
No, probably not. So, that's a good question. I don't know how they're going to handle that, but I think Newsom is going to replace Biden for sure.
Like, you have to think like Trump has a contingency plan, like who he's going to prop up in his place if that happens.
Yeah. This is a good point, Anson. That very well could happen. I've been wondering how they would do it. I just don't believe they'll do it this early. I believe that they need to let Biden keep rolling so that all of the Republican negativity is focused on him. And then all of a sudden he has an incident or is unable to continue for whatever reason. And then, here's Gavin Newsom. There he is, right there.
Do you think like it would be like, because they're only having one debate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they scheduled for more?
I believe there's just a one. There's usually, I think, 2 or 3, but
usually there's 3. But as far as I know, they only have the one scheduled.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, like, if he bombs,
mm-hmm,
then you might see Newsom, But didn't the convention already happen? Did the DNC convention already happen?
They would call another one. They would bring the super delegates were named at the convention, so they would only need a convention of delegates. So I think that's what Anson's saying. That's the way I understand it, at least. And they wouldn't even really need a convention. They would just literally just send out an email. Hey, here are the 3 names. You guys are the super delegates, so let me know.
I think that, Biden is beyond leadership. Like,
that's interesting. That's interesting.
I mean, he's not even the one leading. And I heard someone try to make a like a legitimate like reason, like good reasoning for that. Like, we'll see if he's. I mean, we all know that he's a proxy, like, or he's just a stand-in, and it's really his, it's his like aides and his assistants that are running things, and that's better. I'm like, wait a minute, what? No, how's that better?
Yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting comment.
Where do you think you're going? No, nobody said you could go anywhere.
We're almost done, Kat. We only have a few minutes left.
What do you mean a few minutes? You go until like 3.
No.
Stop. You need to do your hostess job. You haven't even like said anything like for the last 30 minutes.
I don't know about politics. I don't care.
Okay, Kat, what do you want to talk? You want to talk pop culture?
No, I don't like pop culture.
What do you like to talk about, Kat? Besides wearing outfits that with leashes for men, you want to walk around?
Okay, yes. Let's talk about that. That is a good idea.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Should I be a pimp?
You're more of a simp.
This is a character role.
Oh, so this is what she like. If she could be anything, this is what she would want to be.
What
but
she
she's pretending like it's a character role. This is like This is like the real Cat coming out in the disguise of a character.
Yeah, sure. So I need someone to let me walk them on a leash. I was thinking Cheeks could do it.
What about your husband?
He would never have anything to do with any of my crazy ideas. No.
As he shouldn't. He should be like, what is that? Electroshock therapy? He should be having you go through some of that right now. I think his Stepford wife is short-circuiting here.
Stepford wife. Wow.
No.
Not wrong, but
I am not a Stepford wife. They don't dress like this.
No, you're right. They dress more appropriate.
Yeah. They're not wearing t-shirts.
That is true. Do you
say she's short-circuiting, so
yeah. Do you have pinafores? Do you have like actual dresses and stuff?
No, I don't look good in dresses.
How do you not?
What woman doesn't look good in dresses?
This is nonsense. What are you talking about?
Because the body does not look good in a dress because I have big butt.
Cannot lie. Other brothers can't deny.
It's not like appropriate to wear a dress because then I look.
I think we need to see a picture of Kat in a dress.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
Yes,
I don't have pictures of me old.
Wait, when did you stop? You don't take current pictures? Like you used to stop taking pictures when you turned 35 or something? So the last like 15 years you haven't taken a picture?
Yeah.
I don't believe you, Kat.
She's trying to convince us all that she's a vampire.
Don't.
So you wear like when you dress up to go somewhere, you wear like
a pantsuit. Yes.
Oh my God, the feminist is coming out. All
it's not a pant. It's not a. It's not
that
a feminist
is a feminist thing right there. Pantsuits are feminists.
Well, I don't have a blazer. I just have a shirt and like pants.
You gotta wear a dress, Kat. You gotta wear a dress. You're in the cringiest territory of being an undercover. She's OPSEC. She's an OPSEC feminist. She's infiltrating us, Grid. Don't you see what she's doing?
I mean, this is pretty crazy. This is pretty nuts. So,
are you working for Hillary Clinton?
No.
Do we need to be worried that we're going to end up in a horrible car accident or just have a sudden heart attack?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny. Am I safe? I am in danger.
We all know what happened to the last guy that crossed the Clintons.
That's funny.
We don't even know if Kat's neighbor is still alive, honestly.
We don't, actually.
He's still there.
We only have her.
So you say.
We don't know that that's the same neighbor. That is a neighbor. We don't know if it's the same neighbor.
This is true.
I'm just saying. It's like real stuff, man. It's real stuff.
So, Kat,
Real
what do you
talk.
like? What do you plan on talking about in your next stream? Let's hear this. What's your idea?
We're talking about conspiracies that we read off the internet.
And any of them have to do with
Well, there's this one conspiracy about like an island where the rich people go and they get a bunch of kids and they break their ankles and make them run, and then the rich people hunt them down. So we were talking about that one.
it almost sounds like the movie Dangerous Game.
I don't know what that is, but
You should. It
I'm
was like
sure.
I love Dr. Moreau.
it should. You should. It was like, done back when you were a teenager or something like that. Way back when, in like the 80s or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't remember. I never saw
Man.
It had iced tea in it.
Nope, no idea.
also true. Wow.
It's actually off of a book or a story where they capture this guy, or they find this guy that the movie is like, this guy is a homeless guy, drug addict, right, or junkie, and these rich people like take him in and like clean him up, give him treat him really well, and like take him to this cabin, and they're like, run. They're like, what? They told him that they're taking him hunting, and they're like, run. And like, he's the game. Like, so all these guys are like these are like legit hunters. Like, they have like killed lions, they've killed bears, they've done all the crazy hunting and safari, like on the safaris and whatnot. And like none of those games are considered like challenging for them. And so now they're chasing this guy around in the woods, and he has to like survive, and he ends up killing him. It's pretty crazy. Good movie.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, it was good. It's an older movie. It was off of a story though. I'm trying to remember the story.
I think that was it. The Most Dangerous Game. It's a very old book.
Yeah.
So,
The Raging Patriot knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That they should do a remake of that. That would be a good remake.
They've made that several times.
Have they?
Yeah. So my friend, so I have that book here. I don't. I have a friend of mine who wrote a book called "The Last Son of the War God." Clay Martin is the name of the author. And it's about, I kid you not, it's about these men who they are kind of messed up. They're led by the local sheriff, and they as when they have transients come through, they literally like catch them, take them out in the middle of the woods, turn them loose, chase them down, and then kill them and eat them. And they make the mistake of have this guy who's like, and this is like kind of a similar theme in the vet, the military vet ideal, where they come back and they're all broken, and then they get divorced, and their life seems over, and they basically, like, this guy just the story rotates around this main character that he's basically decided that he's going to just go off in the woods in the middle of fucking nowhere and just die. Like, that's what he's going to do. Like, his life is over. His wife left him. He's out of the military. All of his buddies are, busy with other things, and he just feels like really alone and all of that. And so he stops for a drink in this town. They kidnap him, drug him. He comes to because, he's a big man, and he comes to before they realize it. He escapes, and he basically becomes their worst freaking nightmare and kills them all. And it's really an interesting story. Last Son of the War God by Clay Martin. Available on Amazon.
Interesting.
It is actually. It's actually really kind of scary and kind of like it's kind of like Deliverance, but with like an edge. And then Clay wrote another book called Sword of the Caliphate, where he postulates that the Muslims develop a biogenetic weapon that targets people with a specific gene structure, which is non-Arabic. So, like, basically Spanish, most whites, Caucasians, everybody but Muslims, basically. And and even some of them, but and they set it off, and it just really tears through the world and or parts of the world. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting book too, Sword of the Caliphate. And he throws in at the end of it that the United States president is the first female president, by the way, is in on the gig because she's been convinced that there's overpopulation and they need to kill off a bunch of people. It's a very interesting book. So very interesting.
It does sound really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, these are like so far-fetched. If you ever want to read a book about actual civil war in the U.S. In modern times, James Tarr, who's another friend of mine, his book, Dog Soldiers, available on Amazon. James Tarr, just James, and then Tarr. He's written a lot of books. All of his books are fucking amazing. But Last Son of the War God, if you read it, you will be like, holy crap, this could really happen. Like, this is
everybody's thinking that, like,
scary. It's so scary. And the way he lays it out, and it is crazy. But
everybody seems to think that's going to happen. Like, too, like, what are your thoughts?
I don't think it can happen.
Civil war. You don't think another civil war could happen?
I don't think so. We're too fat and lazy. But
I think if the right circumstances.
Well, read that book and tell me what you think, and I'll loan you my. I wish I could. I have an electronic copy.
If I was your neighbor, I would just come over and borrow it.
Well, I have it on my. I have it electronic as well. I just don't know how I can share it with you. I'm sure there's a way.
Just text me the name again and everything to the book.
Dog Soldiers. Here, hang on. I'll just find it.
Text me.
Text me. So stand by. God, man, you're so aggressive, bro. You're so aggro.
So aggro. What are you talking
So
about?
Aggro, bro. So aggro, bro.
Are you like talking like these kids these days? Like, stop.
You need to catch some waves, bro. Dude, I'm talking like kids from when I was in school. Aggro. That was our word, man. It's been co-opted by these guys.
Listen, Ghost, I would move to Nashville in a heartbeat if one of those production companies hired me.
My lake house will be available end of July.
See, that would be perfect. I just got to get I either got to get Grid to open up our own production company and start our own Daily Wire, or I got to get Daily Wire to hire me, or Jason Whitlock. But I'm leaning to make Grid open up his own,
Yeah.
Grid One Entertainment.
I am bored. I need, I need something to do. It's not like I have enough. One day my airplanes will get done.
Grid One Entertainment. I like that.
G1 Entertainment. There you go. I threw you the Amazon link, bro.
Cool. I got it. Yeah, I'll read it.
Dude, it's really crazy. It's a crazy. And the weird thing is it's nuts how possible it is.
Like, here's my thoughts. Okay, like, I think people are gonna get to a point. Like I know Andrew's like everybody's fat and lazy, and I totally see that, and I'm like, you're right. But I think like, let's say they like try to make the churches do something, just I don't know, something ridiculous. Let's say like they remove the tax exemption from the churches, right? And they give them, but like they keep them for like the Satanist church or like the Trans Church of America or something like that. And like, I think you add that, and then like Trump going to prison, right? Or attempt of assassination or an assassination, right? Then I think you got like the perfect storm for people to be like, oh, hell no.
I mean,
time for war.
I mean, dude, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't buy into that. I would have bought into that at one point in time. I don't buy into it anymore. I just don't.
Okay, so God forbid, let's say someone deletes Trump, right, for whatever reason.
Yeah,
like it's like a JFK scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think, and this happens before the election or before he takes office, or before the election, you don't think that like that will be enough to cause people to be like,
no, I don't. I mean, I would have at one time, but I just don't buy into it anymore. I probably would have. I would have at one point for sure. I mean, no doubt. But the reality is now is we're too fat, we're too lazy, people have too much to lose. There's there's all of the nonsense. The boog's just not going to kick off, man. It just, I wish it would. I mean, I don't wish it would, but I wish that we could either do it or not do it and know for sure. But it's just, I just don't see it kicking off like they, like maybe people try and talk about. But I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I would,
I think the country's like in a powder keg. Like honestly, I think it's just like ready to go. But hey, I do gotta drop because I gotta get ready for my stream.
Yeah. You need to throw your link up, man. Here, I'm gonna throw you more link, man. This is let's see. Throw it over here. There we go.
Oh, you want me to drop my link?
No, I'm throwing you a link right now, and then I need the link to the stream so I can throw it in a redirect.
Yeah. Here, let me grab it for you.
I just dropped you the I think I just dropped you the link for my
Airbnb. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's my lake house.
I'm going to grab this link here.
Which we don't actually Airbnb it that much anymore.
I'm gonna drop the link for you. Here's my link.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. No.
All right, I will chat with you guys later. I got to get ready.
All right, see ya.
All right, peace.
I'll send everybody over in a minute. Oh, Cat left too. That's so mean. Look, that was planned, guys. That was planned. That was a mutiny, is what that was. Yeah, I can have Anson up for a few minutes. I like Anson, and I haven't been paying attention to the chat, so I probably owe him something. So. Yeah, she just dove right off. So, do I have Anson in? Yeah, that was really slick. Let's see. Do I have Anson? Let's see. Yep. Yeah, I'm only gonna be on for another. I mean, Glenn should be up here shortly, so. Yeah, she must have been watching, like waiting, and that was the cat-like reflexes kicked in. See, I told you, cat-like reflexes. Told you that. I wasn't making that up. It's been a good show tonight, guys. Even though it's really chill, and I'm just kind of chatting around, and it's just kind of cool. So yeah. Oh, here we go. It's very funny. Is Anson on his way up? You guys got him going on? Cat's already gone. She's in bed by now. She is she's very good at the again, those cat-like reflexes. That's what happens. So yeah. Anson on his way. Is he gonna make it? I feel like he should make it. We'll see. We'll see. All right. All right. All right. Anyway, guys. So yeah. So I kind of lost where I was at, where I was going, what I was doing. See if yeah, just so we don't miss Kat. There's Kat. We got a good picture, good screenshot of her. So yeah. So we got Kat going on there. There we go. It's good times. Yeah. That's not a very active cat, but we had a cat for a little while. All right. Now, so I just don't see it. I just don't see I'm with Andrew on this. As much as I believe that it would probably, a great reset is probably something that I don't want to say, is needed or whatever. I don't know how we would say that, but as much as I believe in a kind of a great reset, I just don't see it happening. Sorry, I just don't. So, I can't do a backflip, bro. I'm sorry, can't do that. I can go off some sweet jumps, but it's dark, so can't do that. So. I don't see your I don't see you there, Anson. I don't see, there we go. Now we got him. Bam. There it is. Oh, there we go. Gotcha. Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I just closed Discord by accident. Sorry. We'll open it again. Yeah, I've already I've got it. Yep, there he is. Bam. How about that? There he is. In the dark, Anson. You outside
Yeah,
again?
I'm in the dark.
You outside again?
Yeah, I'm outside again.
Yeah. All right.
Can't smoke inside. The kids are inside.
Ah, I gotcha. So are you so you're getting a divorce? Are you actually divorced? You're in the middle of it? How's that going for you?
Oh, I'm in the middle of it.
That sounds perfectly terrible.
So, you wanted to talk about the election?
Sure, man. Got about half an hour here. I can maybe right around there anyway. At least get a good start on it. Libertarian guy. Yeah, he is our favorite libertarian guy. One of our favorite libertarians. We got a lot of libertarians that we talk to. So
Yeah, it's I don't really see any way that they can let Trump or Biden in. I'm still thinking that they're gonna get Trump out with this felony stuff. I think they're gonna restrict him, and the RNC and the DNC are just both gonna pick folks who um, fit what the establishment wants. I don't think they're gonna have a real election again. I don't know if you recall, but when Rush Limbaugh was in his final year or so, he said several times that this was going to be the last election the Democrats would allow to happen, and that was the 2020 election. And I've never been wrong thinking that Rush Limbaugh was right. So I think his last year he prophesied about how they were going to go against Trump before it happened. He did a lot of that stuff.
well,
And
I mean that part was obvious. That part was kind of obvious.
Well, yeah,
so I'm
but he
trying to
also
look at it. I'm considering what you're saying. I'm trying to put the pieces together in my head. This is how I see it going. Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this is how I see it going. I don't honestly think, I think if they prevent Trump from campaigning, that's worse than if they just if they just say, hey, we're setting aside these this felony deal until appeals, which is what they pretty much, which I thought was pretty much was going to happen the whole time. I think the only reason they went forward with this, knowing that it'll be reversed on appeal, is to get the headlines that they were able to make him a felon. And once they got the headlines, they don't care anymore. That seems to be typical of the modern Democratic Party. They don't actually care that they've realized they don't need to devote all of the energy and effort into actually destroying somebody. They just need to get the headline that they need to convince and just keep putting in front of people every day. And so I think that now that they've got their headline and they've energized more people with the idea that Trump's a felon and all of this, my original thought was is that they know it's going to be overturned on appeal, so their best play was to just let him go ahead and go back to campaigning. Now, if they, as you are anticipating, if they do restrict his movements, if they restrict his ability to campaign, I think that's worse for them. First of all, he has access to all of the social media and everything, and so does his team, and it will literally be just that probably could push a lot of undecideds in his direction. So I agree with you, but I disagree with you, if you understand what I'm saying. Like I think they may very well try and do that, but I don't think that would work out the way they wanted, because it just makes him more powerful. But the interesting thing is everything they do seems to make him more powerful, and they should just stop. But on the other side of the coin, on the Biden side, you have a point about the ballots, but the thing is I don't know that they don't already have them printed. You're operating from a point where they would have to have it done and then print them, where I'm saying I think they've had them printed. I personally think they've had them printed since December, and they're just waiting to put Newsom in, and I've had this point made to me by many people who are smarter than me that if they put Newsom in too early, then all of Newsom's past sins and failures are going to be paraded 24/7 in front of a very willing and eager crowd. And they don't, and there's no way he would survive that. Now he gets away with it as governor of California because, basically the women there love him, and he's been literally there. They're not wrong in saying that the only reason he's elected is because all of the women in California can vote, because they literally are just voting because they think he's handsome. So
I don't know. I'm skeptical because I remember what happened on that day after the 5th of January, and I don't know if you recall, but all of the establishment turned on Trump the last few weeks. Even the Republican establishment. Some of the people I was involved in the Republican Party back then.
Well, certainly,
and there were people, even in Alabama at the state level in the Republican establishment in Alabama that were basically saying that Donald Trump did the worst thing since the War of 1812. And I think that there's a visceral hatred that has been hidden since then by a lot of the establishment because Trump maintained his popularity. And so they've been acting and they're waiting for a chance to get rid of him. And I think that this felony charge.
I would have disagreed with you. I would have disagreed with you back in 2018, 2019. I think that they never anticipated how strong he would get. I think that they never anticipated how popular he would be. And I don't think that they anticipated how real he was in trying to accomplish the things that he set out to accomplish. I think that the mistake that the Republicans made was believing that Trump was like any other politician and was going to make a bunch of promises, then get into office and not do anything. And they made that mistake, and then they realized they made that mistake, and then they didn't like him anymore. And so on the other side of that, I think the thing that hurt, I think the things that I would have agreed with you 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I would have agreed with you 100%. The difference is that if they had just let Trump falter, if the DNC had not gone after Trump, if they had not weaponized the FBI, weaponized all of these prosecutors to bring him to court over the last 8 months, 9 months, whatever it's been, then he probably would have lacked enough support in the Republican Party to have even made it this far, right? It was Barr, and I think I hope I'm pronouncing it. I'm assuming it's pronounced Barr, because it's not Bill Barr. It's spelled differently. The prosecutor in New York. I'm sorry,
Bob Barr.
Yeah, Bob Barr. So it was him filing charges that literally turned the entire Republican, or virtually the entire Republican caucus, from being against Trump, anti-Trump, literally saying bad things about Trump every day. Over the course of a week after Barr filed charges, the first set of charges, and that female mayor or prosecutor in New York, what was her name?
Letitia Jackson.
Letitia Jackson. Yes, thank you. When those two things happened, that turned, I would say, a good 80% of the Republican leadership back towards Trump. And I don't think it's because they support him. I think it's because what they're seeing is a weaponization of the press and the judicial system against politicians, and they think they're next. I don't believe that they actually like Trump. I don't believe that, and I 100% do not believe that they support Trump, but I believe it's in their best interest to make sure that they stand with Trump at least until he's elected or defeated. One or the other, They have to stand there, because if they don't, and they desert him, and he loses, they could be next. And I think that that's really how they're looking at it. I don't think that I assign no altruism to them. This is pure self-interest. And you can look at you can look at the week before the headlines, so and so Republican National Committee leader comes out against Trump, right? And all of this, and then Barr files those first charges, and half those guys change their mind overnight. They come out fervently. Wow, this is bad. They can't do that to Trump. I'm with Trump. And then Letitia James files, and more come across, right? Because now they see, now it's not just a state guy. Now they have New York City filing. And then Fonnie Willis down in Atlanta, she files. And I think that this is just, I think the leadership is not stupid enough, which is rare. I think they're not stupid enough to think that they can separate themselves enough from Trump to not be for these prosecutors to come after them. And so I think it's pure self-interest. So on the other side of that, if we just want to flip it around one more time, on the Democrat side, the Democrats know they could not put anybody else up against Biden. Biden is the incumbent. He's got the support. Even though he's, on paper, he's losing a lot of ground. I believe that the leadership believes that they can continue to motivate their base, and that will be enough to carry them in the election. Plus, they have the idea, they have all of these undocumented immigrants that they can control that vote, and they know they can control that vote, or at least they believe they can. And so I don't think that they were particularly concerned until, well, I think that all along they've planned to have Biden removed from the ticket. The question was always when. And I originally thought that they were going to remove him immediately prior to the last few days of the DNC convention, immediately prior to its ending. And I made an assumption that, well, what I had originally thought was that one of the Cuomos would step into the spot, but they both ended up getting into legal trouble. One of them's in jail. I think the other one's on his way to jail. So the Cuomos were out. And if you look at the national stage, you only had 3 strong Democrats that have a national presence. And that is the 2 Cuomos and Gavin Newsom. They don't have anybody else that has enough national presence that can carry a presidential race. But I don't think they really cared that. I'm sorry?
No, I was just going to say, so what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I can't see how they would go after Trump as hard as they have without the intention of burying him. Because if it's just pure political, where they're just trying to hamstring him for the election,
they have to. He's too strong.
Well, yeah, but if they're using the legal system just for that purpose, and they don't actually try and take him out and put him in jail, it's going to be apparent.
I think it's worse for him if they put him in jail. If they put him in jail, that's political suicide, man. That's political suicide. There's too many people that have actual evidence that are going to come forward and say, no, this is not how this is going to work. I wasn't heard. That Trump has the resources to appeal and force a Supreme Court decision. And the Supreme Court is not going to be controlled by the DNC. They've already proven that. So there's just no fucking way that the DNC is going to risk it. They're going to push it. They have to push it, because he's too powerful, right? He's the gorilla in the room. They have to keep him in the corner, and they have to do everything they can to keep him in the corner as long as they can. The problem is I really think that if they hamstring his ability to go out and campaign, it will I would anticipate his poll numbers to go through the roof. Like in even more than they already have. I mean, the reaction to him being put through this trial has been ridiculous. It was literally the worst thing that they could have done. It was the biggest miscalculation in American history as far as the DNC is concerned. But they did it, and now they have to live with it. The problem with their tactic is that I think that they felt like that this was going to be a very quiet legal proceeding, that it was all going to be basically done in a couple of weeks, and Trump wouldn't have time to spin up a machine and all of this. But the problem is that that's not how the legal system works. The press got a hold of it. Trump got a hold of it. And, Trump's not stupid, even though and I don't know how many of them actually believe Trump is stupid, but they tend to treat him like he's stupid, and he's not. And so he did exactly what I expected him to do. He defended himself. He made a big deal out of it. A lot of press. And that's what I don't think that they anticipated it going this way. But now they're stuck here. The only thing they can do, I believe that the city attorney of New York, when they said that they did not anticipate Trump going to any kind of jail or house arrest or anything like that they believed that the judge would, and I believe initially it was indicated that the judge was going to set aside the verdict temporarily while the appeal process was happening, which would have left Trump free to campaign and do anything he wanted to do. But I think they're making another miscalculation here, and I think the judge is going to end up ordering him on house arrest. And if they do that, it only makes him stronger. Everything they do to try and strike him down makes him stronger.
So let me tell you some of the logistics of how this is going to work. So the RNC is going to have their convention just days after the sentencing, right?
Right.
And I'm not exactly sure, but it would be worth a look to see what their bylaws say for nominating a presidential candidate, whether or not they actually have to be present at the RNC.
Well, I would believe that they wouldn't have to be, but there's too much campaigning that has to go along.
Well, I don't think that there's been a president nominated who wasn't at the convention. And it would definitely be worth a look, because there are a lot of those organizations who have the bylaws, because I've written bylaws for organizations like that.
Sure.
I've read a bunch of them, and some of them stipulate that you have to be present to be nominated. And if that's the case, all the judge has to do is put him under house arrest, and then he's no longer the presidential candidate. No one's talked about that. The logistics, and the RNC would be like, well, that's what our rules are. That we have to get such and such in our bylaws changed, and we can't do that in time. And there's nothing we can do about it. We can't nominate Trump because he's in.
That would be a supreme mistake on the Republican Party.
Well, maybe.
Oh, but, no, 100%. Who would they put up?
Well, any one of the list of the establishment people who want power,
but they can't win.
There's
no way. Look. Let's put it out there, man. DeSantis cannot win. Period. He makes a good sense as a VP, but I don't think he'd even take it now. He's got too much going on in Florida. I don't think that he would take it. Vivek
they could put a senator or two up.
Sorry?
They could put a senator or two up.
But they don't have national presence.
Yeah.
They have the same problem that the Democrat Party has, right? The Democrat has 3 people, and 2 of those people are currently in jail. One is left free, and that's Gavin Newsom.
Well, they could put up Nikki Haley.
That would be a mistake, because she ran on the Republican ticket, and if they try and move her over to the Democrat side, that would melt down That would melt
Well,
down.
no,
a
on
lot.
the Republican side, they could put up Nikki Haley if they
Oh, no,
if
there's no
Trump's
fucking way.
Trump's.
She's
They,
too
they,
hated. Too
I
hated.
I
Too
don't think the establishment cares.
Oh yeah, they absolutely care about winning the election. Absolutely. That's why they're backing Trump now. Is they thought they literally and so without I don't have like any kind of inroads into the establishment per se. There's just no way that they're going to risk losing this election if they can avoid it. Right? Like there's no way. In everyone's eyes, this is too important to fail. Right? It's just too important. And that's why that's why that's why they didn't allow anyone to face Biden. Because if the wrong person, and basically anybody could have beaten Biden, right? But if the wrong person beat Biden that didn't have a national presence, they wouldn't get any, they would have lost way worse than they're going to lose with Biden in place. And so I think that I really do believe that there's a scheme in place to replace Biden with Newsom. I've thought that for the last 4, 5, 6 months. Because it doesn't make any sense to put Biden back in the White House. And I'm pretty sure that Newsom's on the in the VP ticket already. I mean, he maybe not officially, but he's the guy. But I think what they're going to do, they're going to put Newsom in as there's going to be some issue with Biden. They're going to pull Newsom. Hey, you're up, champ. They're going to put him as a presidential. And then if they put, I don't know who they would put in as VP for Newsom, but I'm guessing it'll be it. I would honestly say AOC is probably their best bet for VP. She's female, young. I think she's probably their best bet.
She'd be horrible.
Except she could win.
Yeah.
They don't give it. Look. None of these people give a shit about how good a job they can do. They only care about a Newsom AOC ticket's a winning ticket.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
Well, that's true. All but what 3 states have write-in ballots for presidential. Isn't it, you can't write in California, you can't write in New York, and you can't write in somewhere else. Maybe it's DC. Am I right about that? Somebody check me on that because I could be fucking. I'm half asleep. I could be wrong. But
yeah, man, I'm willing to put money on them not letting Trump or Biden on the ballot. I think both of them are. Neither one of them are going to be on the.
It'll be interesting if that happens. I can't see that it would be political suicide to do so, unless there's some sort of event where somebody could gather so much they could gather instant national street cred and jump to the front, right? Like negotiate peace in Ukraine or something of that nature, right? You got some ambassador out there floating around somewhere that they could pump up and bring in, and that would be their best bet. If there's some ambassador out there somewhere that's maybe had his name in the paper a few times, and they could pump him up for settling some big ass treaty or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So, but I just don't believe it. I believe that as far as the Democrats go, I can't see them doing anything better than Newsom. AOC is just the one that makes the most sense as far for a running mate for Newsom. But I could be wrong about that. I just feel like it will be a female. It'll be Newscomb and a female.
Right. Well, okay. Assuming that you're right and Trump gets in, and we talked about this a little last time.
Mhm.
Assuming you're right, Trump gets in. Who's his VP pick going to be?
Fuck if I know, man. He says he's got him, but so what I would like to see in a perfect world, which we're not going to see it, but fuck, it would be so great. It would be unbeatable if in August RFK said, "I'm not going to carry the votes. I'm gonna," and Trump says, "Come be my running mate." RFK Trump RFK ticket with RFK as VP. It's unbeatable. Guaranteed. That's slam dunk. Slam dunk.
Yeah, I don't know. He's
The problem is RFK won't do it. That the only problem is that RFK won't do it. But by August,
RFK's a Democrat. I mean, he's a real Democrat. He's not going to jump over to the Republican Party.
he's a Kennedy Democrat.
Yeah.
And he's and he's basically a conservative Democrat. Him and Trump align on like 80% of what they talk about, other than social programs. They and business and taxes, they diverge, but pretty much everything else, RFK's a Kennedy Democrat. And that's the thing, is that he would pull from all of these old Kennedy Democrats out there that have been abstaining from voting. RFK is going to pull them all. Guaranteed, 100%. He's even got the damn name, Kennedy. He's right there. JFK, RFK. Dude, I'm telling you, that you can't get any better. He is, they try to portray him as a moderate, but he's not a moderate. He is a conservative Democrat. He's not a moderate at all.
I don't know. He's not very conservative on his gun issues and the environment and a bunch of other stuff. But he's not as strong on the gun issues as he is on some other things. And I honestly don't believe anything he says about the environment. Yeah, he's come out talking about ending the Second Amendment and all kinds of crazy stuff. I wouldn't trust him with the presidency.
See, I can't believe it. He'd say that, because he's running on an independent ticket, and independents there's no way they'll vote for somebody that says that.
Well, I'm talking prior to him running for president.
Oh yeah. No, I think he's backed off a lot from that. I think that, I think he's a political animal, and I think that he said what he said when he needed to say it. But I don't think that, and I think that's why Trump was meeting with him so much about 5 months ago. I think Trump and RFK were talking seriously about a Trump RFK ticket. The problem is that RFK didn't want. My assumption is RFK either didn't want to play second fiddle, or Trump knew that there was a potential for this case to go sideways, and so he distanced RFK from it. And as a bonus, he picks up the independent ticket. There's no way RFK can be hardcore environmental and hardcore anti-gun and pick up the independent and libertarian ticket. And he's running as a libertarian. If he wasn't running as a libertarian, I'd be on your side, and I would say, yeah, okay.
Well,
I believe
he's not running as a libertarian, though.
Is he not? I thought he was.
No.
I thought he had got the libertarian nomination.
You talking about RFK?
Yeah.
No, some leftist wacko got the libertarian nomination. A guy named Chase Oliver.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I
don't pay attention enough to the libertarians.
Yeah.
That's whack because most libertarians are like seriously right.
No, they're not. No, it's half and half. It's about half of them are right and half of them are left.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's because they don't have the Libertarian Party doesn't have moral issues that they run on. They focus on economic stuff, and they consider the social issues unimportant, which I think is ridiculous.
That's true. That is true. For some reason, I thought that RFK had picked up the okay, so that kind of changes my math a little bit. But I prefer RFK over a lot of the people that Trump has to pull from. See, he can't pull somebody like, well, I still think he might pick Christy Noem. Even with the dead dog thing, I think she came out of that smelling pretty good. I don't think that's as big an issue.
That was ridiculous. You know, they made a big deal about her writing about that in her book, and nobody even remembers Obama talking about eating dogs in his book that he wrote before he ran for president.
Yeah, they made a big deal about it, but left out the part where the dog was like, I left out. Well, they did the normal thing of leaving out most of the story. So, but yeah. Sorry, I got distracted there. I got admin stuff going on. Christy Noem. So Christy Noem, the thing with Christy Noem is I really like her a lot. I've been following her career now for the past probably 5 or 6 years, and I like everything I've heard from her.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of hers. I saw her at an event in what was that state she's in? South Dakota.
South Dakota, yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the speakers at a Freedom Fest there. I think in 2021.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And I don't know. She was forced into the position of being the pro-liberty, anti-lockdown governor by her state legislature. That wasn't something that she wanted, and she just sort of took it and ran with it. And I don't think that's who she is. I've always viewed politicians, in terms of like, well, you already said it. They're political animals. They basically make decisions based on the conditions that they have, and I think that she's just sort of capitalized on some of the freedom-loving nature that she didn't deserve, I guess is the right way to put it.
Well, I mean, I know some people out there that know her that I trust, and so I trust their opinion of her.
Okay.
Right? Like they're solid, like 2A, business owner, freedom loving, Harley riding, all that. And they just love her. They think that, and they interact with her on a slightly more what's a word, intimate scale than at meetings, right? Like she does Harley cruises and things like that, and they're part of that,
right?
And so I'm going to trust their opinion because I've never met her, I don't know her, I've only seen what I've seen. I do believe that she came out pretty hardcore against the against all of the COVID stuff, partially because that was the stance that everybody else was I get that she was kind of forced into that, but I would rather her have done the right thing and kind of felt forced into it than her told everybody to go fuck themselves and done the wrong thing.
Right.
So I that's, if when the chips are down, you come up and do the right thing, even if you don't want to do the right thing, at least you did the right thing. So get credit for that. And I think she'd make a good running mate for Trump. Who else? So that's really the only running mate for Trump. Any other running mate for him is going to be outshone by him, right? Like there's going to be too weak, and Trump needs a strong running mate, to be honest. Vivek possibly, but
yeah, I think Vivek's got a pretty good shot at it. He's got the right demographics, the right skin tone.
Yeah, I think that's his strong suit. Is he has good demographics and all of the stuff that he can be criticized on. He's very weird. So
Yeah, he can't. He owns the room that he's in. Also, he's very articulate and intelligent.
he's very Obama-like.
Yeah, well, he's better than like any of the other Republican politicians running. You know, he's in terms of his ability to manage his rhetoric. You know, he's quick on his feet. You know, it's not like who was that neocon woman I mentioned ago? Haley, Nikki Haley.
Yeah,
You know,
Nikki Haley.
she would get bogged down in simple questions about the Civil War. You know, like not knowing the history. You know,
Right.
it was pathetic.
Well, to
And
be fair, none of the people she's talking to know the history either. So she could have said whatever she wanted to say, and they probably would have believed it. So
yeah,
I actually thought MTG actually had a shot until she kept running her mouth too much. I really like MTG. I think she's fine. I think she's great. I think she suits Trump, right? She matches his energy. I think that, most men, when they look at her, they kind of forget what she's talking about. And that's kind of a bonus sometimes. But man, is something about 3 months ago, and she just would not let it go. And I feel like that she, I think that she just went a little too far. Arthur Diet, yeah, but being a meme is fleeting. That's irrelevant. I think the problem with MTG is that they know what questions to ask to set her off, and I'm not really sure how that's all going to work. So Vivek too green, maybe. I don't know. I'm lukewarm on Vivek. I do believe that he's very smart. He did the exact right thing. He went out. He doesn't talk about things he doesn't know about. He'll just say, "Hey, I don't know. I'll have to study that up." And he's very Obama-like in the way that he speaks, and he admits to having studied Obama's techniques. And so nothing wring with that. If you're getting beat by somebody, studying their techniques is probably not a bad idea. So.
And he has experience in the real world, making jobs, working in private equity. He's done a lot that isn't political related, and there's not a lot of these politicians who actually achieve stuff at the level that Vivek did. I mean, he's very well rounded.
And so here's the thing about that. What's the word I'm looking for? He actually kind of annoys me. And the reason he kind of annoys me is that I don't know. I mean, while he's made some jobs, but he actually lost a bunch of people a fair amount of money, and it's just looking at the way he's done business. It's not the way he's done business is not something that I would agree with. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I agree with it, right? Why does it? That's not part of it. And so, anyway, I have a real I don't know. Vivek is by far not the worst choice at all. Like he's probably one of the better choices to do that with. And but it's I missed a super chat here. I got to get that. Even if Trump is put on house arrest, it does not automatically remove him from the ticket. I did read that. The Republicans can still choose to nominate him, and we had the earlier one where he'll be a write-in vote. So I guess I see this. I don't know, man. I don't. The biggest problem with on the Republican side is I have no idea who we would put in. We do not have a nationally known, well regarded Republican. So, so that's the thing.
Well, it could be something that's built out of the spectacle of the floor fight that would be required at the convention. I mean, if both Democrat and Republican conventions decide their nominees not on who won the popular vote during the primary, but who won the floor fight, that spectacle would probably build enough inertia for whatever candidate they picked, because it'd be so abnormal and different.
Could be, or it could backfire. It could turn everybody off, and people would just stay home from the polls, and nobody wants. That makes it unpredictable. They need it very predictable. They need. I like what you're saying. To be honest with you, I would. Blood sport debate. Last man standing's the guy. I like that idea. The problem is there's no fucking way the leadership will allow that. No fucking way. Too unpredictable. They can't control it. And the one thing that you always have to remember is they want to be, they need to feel like they're in control. That's why they don't like Trump. But that's why they're working with Trump, because at least they feel like they know him. They feel like that they have some handle on him and all that kind of thing. I think Glenn's up. Anson is a great conversation politically. We're going to have to do this some more. I can talk politics for hours with somebody who's willing to, kind of beat up on me a little bit, and just challenge the thought process. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my own channel so you can come and visit my channel, Grid.
That's right, man. That's right. You should. You're you're a very intelligent man. And it's interesting because I've put a lot of thought into this presidential race, and I've talked to many people about how and why and who, and I keep coming back to the same answers. And look, while I admire Donald Trump, I would have been a lot happier had there been a stronger candidate come out of the primary. I would have loved that. It would have been a much better solution for me. If we could have had a Reagan come out, or just anything, but we didn't. And worse is that with all of the charges and everything being levied at Trump, he literally just blew past everybody, right? Like, his base is so energized, and his base is big and getting bigger, so, we'll see. Guys, I'm going to send you over to Glenn's stream. I think they're getting ready to start, so you'll have enough, you should have enough time to, get up, stretch your legs, go take a leak, get something to drink, and then jump into Glenn's stream. Not really sure what he's talking about tonight, other than that he sent me this kind of a teaser that is Congress attempting to is congressional leaders attempting to help state leaders overturn no-fault divorce, good or bad? It's a very interesting question. So go debate that and enjoy it. And again, Anson, thank you very much for coming up. Thanks to all you folks out there in the chat tonight. Really appreciate it. I am beat. I'm really tired. It's very hard to focus. So you guys got to go away and leave me alone and get off my lawn.